Hello and welcome everyone to the first stream talking about Alien Earth. We're calling it Tren-dy TREN-DY TV Tuesdays. Or maybe high T, testosterone, except this show is somehow lacking testosterone and high T. Myself, Gord King, Emperor Goodwin, and Vex, we all just watched the first two episodes of Alien Earth. And we've got a lot to say about it. So you are warned ahead of time. There will be full spoilers. So just be prepared. And again, hopefully that you won't be offended by what we have to say, because we're just going to tell it like it is. We're not going to shill. We're not going to cope either. You're going to get the real, honest, damn truth. So before we kick in, let's just talk about people in the chat. What's up there, Waylon? How you doing, my dude? Gord's in the chat, and we got okay, the lovely Sherry. Hello.
I see a chest burster.
Yeah, it's the better chest burster.
Yeah.
Sherry, I had to, I didn't leave hanging, so I had to wear a nice little tank top.
Alien Earth needed more of that.
Yes, it did.
It did. It needed more boobs.
They talked about those.
They needed more boobs and biceps.
In a weird way, but
yeah, I don't like hearing a child talk about how its tits bounces up and down. Gord, I don't know about you, but you and Melvin would get along great. Apparently.
Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't say I enjoyed it. I just said it had it.
Rossi, how you doing, dude?
Well, Max, you'll never write for Disney with that kind of attitude.
So what's up, my dude? How was it? It was nowhere good to what to what IGN was saying. That's for damn sure.
No.
Well, they gave it a 90.
They
a 9
gave it a
10?
9. They gave it a 9.
Again, don't take anything IGN takes seriously, because they get a different person to do every review, right? So it's easy to poke fun at it, but also you have to look at what was the review history for the person, like what the other stuff they done. So I noticed like the IGN people that rated shit like Echo really high, they also rated things like Agatha really high. Like that's just their niche sort of deal.
Yeah, so, I kind of feel like they these days it's just like they pick the person who has the highest score and like, all right, you write the review. But
right.
Yeah, this show has 84 on Metacritic, 93 on Rotten Tomatoes. So yeah, those sites aren't reliable.
No, definitely not because of the people that they would have let see it ahead of time to be able to get their reviews out. I mean, the clear thing is we all had low expectations because we've seen what's happened to the franchise over 15 years. Plus
going back to Prometheus.
Well, even before that, I mean, Alien 4 is
that's true. Yeah,
no great shakes either, right?
Alien 3 Resurrection.
And so, we were thinking, well, this is probably just going to be, jangle the keys and member berry the hell out of things like Romulus. I think we're all yearning to watch Romulus at this moment just because it's better than what that was. And trust me, I would rather scrape out my eyes with a fork than watch Romulus again.
Did Ridley Scott have an effect in this series? I believe he did. It definitely feels like he did. Like he had some sort of
everything Alien. He has a hand in these days, so he had to have in this.
Only 2 good Alien films.
Correct.
That is correct.
Accurate. What's up, Sarge? How you doing, man? Where does it scale on the Alien franchise? In terms of like how good it is, if you can watch it or not.
I would say you think of this the way you would think of Jurassic World Rebirth. It's not as messy as like Covenant or Prometheus, but it's boring the way Rebirth is.
It's
plenty messy still. It's plenty messy, but it's
the writing is definitely Damon Lindelof levels of head trauma, but it's actually like put together worse. The editing in this is bad. I mean, the opening, the crew, they're going to get zotted or whatever, and so it's basically here, let's just cause epilepsy with a bunch of like 3-frame snapshots going through another scene, and then the way they edit things is you have people going through like complex environments, and you lose where you are because they're just like cutting from here to there, and there's no like distinguishing markers for the environment, so you can't really keep track. They seem to be violating the 180 rule on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And so you're just like, all right, when things are happening, and then things don't really happen.
Yeah. So again, just before we really start to kind of dive into it, we'll basically talk about episode 1 first, and then we'll go into episode 2. And we're not going to really go so much in order for these episodes, so we might just jump around just because I feel like that's sort of where we're at right now. There's no congruent storyline because the storyline is just so screwed up to begin with, and it really is a drag. I mean, I think the four of us sort of talking about it as we were watching it was a better conversation than what we were listening to. And
Yeah,
you know, but it's rough. I mean, you know, we know for a fact that it starts in the year 2120, which is 2 years before
Nostromo.
Alien. Yeah, the Nostromo. So. I mean, they just basically say where they're at or where the ship is, which is the Maginot, if I remember correctly. Maginot, sorry. And
the French defensive line for World War II. Maginot line.
Yeah. It's I think they're 805 million miles away from Earth, and then they're on a 65-year mission length or term. You know, and they establish from the beginning with some fancy green text that there are 3 geyses, in case you weren't aware of this, which I feel like, you know, if you're watching this show and you've never seen any of the Alien movies, then you're severely out of place. But they just established that there are 3 geyses. So you've got cyborgs, synths, and hybrids, in which we, basically see 2 of them that are at least named or classified in this first 2 episode premiere. One of the guys, his name's Morrow. He's the black character who seems to be maybe the most interesting character, I guess. I mean, there's some flaws that circle around him, maybe. But
which one was Morrow?
I don't know if he's so much.
Oh,
I don't know if it's so much he's interesting. It's just he's kind of the driver of the plot so far.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
plot, quote unquote.
He seems to be the only one that knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just for maybe some context, I'll try to show on screen just a few things where I possibly can, and hopefully, we don't.
So I was trying to remember. I don't think they've ever had cyborgs in the Alien franchise.
8 episodes.
Yeah, I was
Rossi.
thinking the same.
Episode.
Yeah.
It's really only
What's
been
up, Prophet?
Really only been synths.
Yeah.
It's slow and it's boring and slow and weird. Yeah, it's pretty much all we said too. Let's send 10-year-olds to go recover priceless resources. Pretty much. That's the context. This tells me they're going to remake the Alien films in the future.
No, they'll just keep doing requels or whatever the hell they call them. Interquels, I believe was what Romulus was called.
Not showing how everything gets loose on the ship hurts the show very much.
Well, so there's 2 ways that they could have done it. It's either show nothing other than ship crash, guy sneaks out, and you just see the damage that's done, and you're like, oh, okay, shit got out, right? And here you go. Or you show that how the ship actually gets rid of its crew. Instead, they choose a third option, which is cause epilepsy while just giving you some quick flashes of things that may or may not have happened, and then you see bodies everywhere. It's kind of the worst of all worlds.
Yeah, it's almost hard to describe to anyone in the audience like what it is, because it's all of a sudden like you have this sequence playing out on this ship, and then there's these flashes of, I guess, what apparently happens later. And then at another point in the show, they actually show some of what happens later. So it's like, what was the point of the flashes and everything? It's like, it's incredibly disjointed and confusing at first. Like, I was asking, the rest of the people on the panel, I was like, what was that? What is that supposed to mean? And they're like, well, I guess that's what's apparently happening on the ship, but it's really odd. It's a pretty terrible choice stylistically to go that route.
Yeah, I don't understand why maybe just like even first of that first half of that first episode isn't just the ship, like shit going haywire on the ship. That's a really strong way to open a show.
Yeah. Well, and
why would you skip over that?
You take the time to make us meet these characters, and characters is a strong word. These caricatures and NPCs that are sitting around, and then they are irrelevant afterwards, except one, because the rest of them, the next time you see them, they're disassembled in various ways, and it's just dumb. If you're gonna spend, and this is like, I think this like opening the bit with them and all that, I mean, it's at least 3, maybe 5 minutes of the opening, part of the show, and I'm like, this is wasted. Because I don't care about any of this, and nor should anyone else, because they're all just dead. And there's, so, I'm trying to build sympathy. I'm trying to make these characters like, but you're not, because there's going to be no meaning. The only one these are all essentially props trying to make Morrow look a certain way, right? And he basically just comes across as an asshole who's in charge. We've got also a creepy bald Asian synth, I guess, who likes to creep on the women. The hell do I care?
Wang, this guy back here.
Yeah, Tang.
Yeah, that's Tang. Like, it's weird because what's so weird in hindsight now is this guy's showing characteristics that you would think are going to carry over later on. It's like, no, this is just it. We're just showing this Asian person who's creeping on people for some reason, and then that's just over. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. His character is Sex Pest.
Yes.
Wait, so he wasn't an android?
Who knows?
I guess not. I
believe he was, but we don't know for sure. Like we don't. The only thing that's clarified is that this guy, not Boy Genius, clicked a little bit too far. No, it's being weird.
There he is.
This guy, Morrow, he's the only cyborg that we actually know of from the ship. Which I suppose that he does act in like a bit like a cyborg in some of his mannerisms of all from this episode here. But again, like you pointed out, Bex, he sweats, which is, I guess, kind of hinting that he is, yes, half human technically, right? Because that's what a cyborg is. So he does have some sort of characteristic, and I don't know what that's really supposed to mean, that he was a bit nervous as to what was happening at the time, because the other chick that's begging for him to get in, and he seals the door, he wields the door shut, which really doesn't do anything because the xenomorph kills her and then proceeds to bash its way into the freaking door through the glass pane. And he's able to, hide in the ground, hide like in a secret compartment on the floor, and the xenomorph can't get to him. So maybe, maybe he's just a little concerned that he might not make it at that point. But it's just, I don't know. Like, okay, Ronan says, I hate him. I imagine I'm supposed to like him, but I hate him. Yeah. Draconos, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? I'm guessing the show isn't good. Yeah, it's really not. We've said just earlier, these first 2 episodes are very, very slow. There's just not a lot to offer here. I don't think any of us have found any character to really connect with. And I mean, they're building heavily and relying heavily upon the whole Peter Pan and Neverland aspect.
Oh my God.
I mean, like it's
the characters are named after characters from Peter Pan, and in the whole, the boy genius, who's the youngest trillionaire, runs Prodigy. It's just, this is called Neverland.
It's Prodigy Neverland Research Center, basically, is where they're at, and we've got Timothy Oliphant, who's basically like the merge, actual, like, sort of hybrid of Sting and Billy Idol.
Mm-hmm.
So nice, and also for a xenomorph wedding.
Yeah.
Leanne actually might like this show that Billy Idol is in this as a character.
Barely in this. Like,
barely,
or he might feel insulted.
He could feel insulted. He's like, oh man, Billy Idol's my idol, man. He's like, did him so wrong. Parts really do look cheap. Yeah. I feel like this show does a great personification of how well magnets work.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there could be a good ad for magnets in this show that are good for sticking a sword or as you were calling it, Vex, a letter opener.
It's a paper slicer, and she just yanks the blade off of it and then sticks it on her back.
So is this show all tell and no show?
No, it's neither.
Yeah, like it doesn't really do either of those at all.
It's a nothing burger.
Really weird.
It's a nothing burger. If you want to get an understanding of how sites like an IGN or whatever rate this stuff as high as they do, or rate Killer of Killers as high as they do, it's all just the wish fulfillment of something like a Predator or a Xenomorph doing really gory stuff at times. I think that's literally the only reason those things and this are getting rated so high, because plot-wise and character-wise, they're complete garbage.
Yeah, I think you kind of have a couple of things. One is that these sites depend on advertising, and so they tend not to try and piss off their advertisers. Secondly, you do have the oh my god, is the thing, and it did, oh, that was a cool kill, and that's it, right? And that's, these are people that are breathing through their mouths and occasionally look up at their phone because the audio sting told them to look up, right? And the third are those that are like, they are fans of Predator or fans of Alien, and they just want anything that's Predator or Alien. I mean, there's no standard other than if you just put the label on something. If we had Alien branded tampons, they'd buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just a lot of weird dialogue, in a majority of the scenes, which is it's just so.
Oh, the writing is atrocious. So
strange. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it was just last week we were talking about how, Noah Hawley is. The first couple seasons of Fargo especially
really
season
good.
1 of Fargo was, I think, it's phenomenal.
Oh
TV.
gosh, it's so good.
One of the best TV seasons I think that you could put up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think seasons 2 and 3 were good. Seasons 4 and 5, not so much. And so again, thinking that maybe if Noah Hawley somehow was able to sort of tap into that writing sense from those first 3 seasons of Fargo, I'm like, there's a small chance that we might actually get something good here with this. I don't know how well, he'll be able to maneuver, through this Alien franchise, especially because of Ridley Scott's, strangle on it. But man, it's pathetic, really. I mean, like there's like a lot of dialogue. I've had some lines, written down here where it's like, what is it? It's a scorpion. It's like, you don't know what a scorpion is? I mean, again, maybe that's a little bit too harsh. Like, I mean, it being the year 2120, but I feel like, it could have said it. There was an opportunity to say it's a scorpion idiot, but, maybe that's being too human. Once we find out.
Well, also, it appears that she grew up in Thailand. They have scorpions.
Yeah. There's just a lot of weird instances of things just not making sense, even in a fiction world. Again, I feel like this is not doing a good job with the suspension of disbelief.
I'm also curious how old this kid is.
She has to be at least 12 to 14. That kid.
She looks about. I was thinking she looked about 12-ish, but
they state that her age is 12.
Okay. Yeah, and just for those of you that haven't seen it, to provide some more context, this British-looking guy on the the left here.
The Timothy Chalamet we have at home.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet.
We're calling him the British Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my
without
gosh!
a British accent.
You want to hear a terrible, kind of a sad piece of trivia? Is this young girl here? She was actually in Peter Pan and Wendy, also.
God!
Wait! Say that again.
This little girl here was also in Peter Pan and Wendy.
No.
Yep.
Like the one that came out on Disney 2 years ago?
Yeah, she was curly. Yep, she's in that. This is the second Peter Pan thing she's done.
So they probably just thought, oh, she'd be perfect for this.
Oh yeah, they were like, you remember the Peter Pan thing you did? Well, we're just gonna play right off of that.
Yeah.
Make that make sense, Ronan. Scorpions are foreign on Earth to.
Well, apparently bugs are foreign, because we have a moment where a guy doesn't notice bug crawling in his shirt for a while.
The writing of the children is just equally strange, because like you could excuse writing children this way if like you wrote this in the 70s, because culture was at a different point there. But we've seen children over the last 15, 20 years pick up on things really quickly, like really, really quickly. So to write them like this in an age of technology where you understand how children really are, but you make them fucking retarded is really odd.
Well, so there's another thing that is, it became annoying. I mean, we started to notice it, and it just kept coming on. Every reference, like historically or flashback culturally or whatever, is like 80s, 70s, 60s.
Yep. Yeah. As we see later on, so the girl here, who's about to have a transition from being human.
That is the term they use.
That is the term they used. Just for context, in the show, she transitioned from a human to a synthetic. Her name
they
is
take the mind of a 12-year-old and put it in the body of an adult female.
Using what do we call it? A poop bucket.
Well, yeah, you got the synth has their head in a bedpan.
Yeah, the bedpan. There we go.
And then the other one is like disco light bed.
Something that Elon Musk probably has already thought of, like that's kind of like what, like, his version of Neuralink is. But
yeah, it's about 5 years away.
Yeah. So she's so as we've sort of deduced, this is Dame Sylvia, who's basically like Tinkerbell, right? So Marcy, the girl, she is now Wendy. She's referred to Wendy because she's like looking over at her body and it's like she looks like a Wendy. As we can see right here, right? So this is Marcy.
The stupid thing about Wendy. That is they almost write it as though the idea to call her Wendy had nothing to do with Peter Pan playing above them at that specific moment. Yes. I was like, we know what you're doing.
That again is another thing that is very much culturally stuck with however old the writer was, because when the young girl, she's laying on that bed, and above them is like this big screen, and it's showing Peter Pan, the movie, the Disney movie. Then later we have Ice Age on like a TV.
Yeah.
There was one other one that they were watching as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't remember, honestly. I remember Ice Age.
But in the chat, just keep in mind, Ice Age would have been out like 100 years ago in this show.
Wendy makes good food, hamburgers. She probably doesn't know how to cook, being as intelligent as she is, because as we find out in episode 2, we'll talk more about this, but she somehow managed to change the freaking code with her hands.
With her magnet fingers that affect CRTs.
Fingers. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I'm going to talk about this movie from 140 years ago.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about a baseball player from 150 years ago. I'm going to talk about Neil Armstrong from 150 years ago, right? Because nobody has done anything after that. She somehow knows these references, but she doesn't know a scorpion.
Mm-hmm. She also doesn't know that breasts jiggle or that sperm comes out of a penis.
Well, she does know that. She explains it.
Yeah, and as we sort of talked about it, she's like, she's like, breasts are weird,
These are weird. They move when I run.
They move, and she's like, well, if I'm not human, then what am I, right? But then later on, she's like, no, I am human. So she's like also having an identity crisis, even though like she should realize like, well, I was human. I'm not human now.
They also look human. They tell her that, well, like the hormones and the estrogens. Well, we don't, you don't have that, and everything. Well, then she wouldn't have really weird. Would probably not be a feeling to her. that wouldn't come off to her as weird. It would more just
My
be
mistake.
observation. Like, that's interesting. You know,
Yeah,
it
well,
that
that doesn't match what I know. That's unusual.
Later, JMO.
You know, out of the realm of my knowledge, something like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's they keep wanting to play with you have a supercomputer for a brain and you don't have a limbic system anymore. So you don't have emotion. Except that's not really how a lot of shit works. But they also do the one thing that I will give it a partial point, because the idea of the reason they're using children is that adults can't handle the transfer process well, because the moving to a new body, our brains are kind of set, right? We know who we are, and physically we're just kind of locked in. We have all of the kinesthetic sense, but children, because their brains have to remain, their minds have to remain plastic, because you go through puberty, your body changes, you get taller and bigger and all that. That they're better able to handle the kind of cognitive shock of waking up in a different body. Now, the problem is that they literally just wake up in another body and they're fine. Also, they can defy physics, as Wendy does when she jumps off like a 500-foot cliff and just lands.
Yeah, where she's right here. Yeah, she's being called upon, and she just drops straight down off this giant cliffside, lands perfectly, and then proceeds to take off like she's Steve Rogers, like some sort of super soldier, like running fast as hell. So gravity doesn't really apply to them, as we've established.
The Terminator would dislocate a hip from this fall.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. This is one of those scenes that you have to kind of put a footnote. It's like you have to keep a note to yourself for later on. It's like, okay, she leapt down from this great height. To be clear, chat, when she lands, she doesn't like superhero land. She just lands.
Stiff legs, bang.
Stiff leg. So
real quick.
And chunk there.
Yeah, it's like there's barely a bend to her leg. So that means her physical power should be incredible. Let's see how consistent that is going forward.
This sets the precedence of her capabilities, right? Meaning she's 12. She's in a synthetic body, of course. But as we were talking about, as we were watching this, like, how does this set up what we see Ash being able to withstand on Nostromo? Right?
Okay. Okay. You know what? I have maybe an explanation for this.
Hit us with that.
Is it magnets?
Maybe.
Okay.
So the Nostromo, right? So this takes place 2 years before that, but the Nostromo had already been in travel for like 8 years before we see the events of Alien, if I remember correctly. So, Ash is an older robot, and he's also from a completely different company. So that can be a potential explanation there.
And so, and just to kind of back up your sort of theory here, as we were introduced, Boy Genius Cavalier, the British-looking Timothée Chalamet character, who's Peter Pan essentially. He kind of even looks like this ragged, Peter Pan. He's just been able to do something that the other four $1 trillion companies have not managed to do. One of those being Yutani, right? So he's found a way to try and establish something superior, better, more advanced, and that's why to be
fair, that is a little bit believable, because you look at how many $1 trillion tech companies exist right now, and how some of them are doing things others can't, right? Sure. But also the priority might be different. So Weyland Yutani is into resources and all that stuff, so the focus might be. I'm just headcanoning this based on everything else, but that's one potential explanation as to why this robot isn't absolutely shattering when she jumps off 200 foot cliffs.
I think that more or less works fine for perhaps like the first couple of movies following. Well, maybe the first one, because the second one's 57 years later, and you'd reverse engineer that crap by then. But yeah, it's maybe you can get away with that as far as a connection to the first movie. It's really not going to work beyond that.
I just landed on the spot talking about how
it's like that. Like, you can get away with that with Ash, but Bishop, it's like,
Yeah, and I mean, I guess the idea, which is not really the truth behind it, but in some value, Boy Cavalier, the boy genius, is trying to, like personally, oh, I'm trying to do a good deed here by saving sick children. As there's got to be some sort of secret behind it, as we kind of find out at the end of episode 2. Maybe parents aren't really telling the truth about where these kids are going, like how they're sick and dying. But I gotta hand it to Boy Cavalier. Like, he has been able to do something that not even Darth Plagueis the Wise was able to do with immortality and transfer oneself to another, and just continue to live on forever in a body that just can defy leaps in a single bound and run faster than a locomotive. And to your point, Bex, I wrote down too, like when we start to see more of the children transfer over, they're not really
a lot of them seem to be special needs
looking.
Yeah.
So like, why, if you had the opportunity to choose your body of what you're going to potentially be in for an exponentially long amount of time, wouldn't you want to look? I don't
even
Greek
think they
god
had a
or
choice.
something like that. I don't. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't even think they had a choice.
Yeah, because Wendy doesn't meet her body until it's time to transfer.
Right, but it's also
so
just
you think
like.
it's. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. So you think it's up to Boy Cavalier? He's handpicking these.
He's just making them. I don't think he's handpicking them. I think he's just making them. But it's just, if you have the ability to be a better version of yourself, which is clearly what the point is, why would you not make yourself look like a fucking runway model? Like, why would you not want to achieve the best possible version, both inside and out? Instead, you've got one fucking midget dude who looks like he's one rookie away from throwing himself off a cliff. You've got a redhead who looks like a fucking anus. You've got a retarded tall black kid. Like, what is this? This is like the Magic School Bus Sped edition kind of deal that we're looking at.
Also, one thing to point out in that shot you just had on screen, you don't have to go back to it or anything, but I do think it's funny that there's only one of those little body transfer machines, and aside from Wendy, all the other ones are in the same clothes that they were when they woke up in their new bodies, which you would think this takes place over, this one does it this day, this one does it that day, but it's like, no, they're just all in that. They've just been going through it like a line. It's like, okay, let's get the next one. Okay, let's get the next one. It's like, probably not. It's not how they did it with Wendy.
Is that the same haircut from Halo? It did remind me of that, Zax, now that you say it. I'm like, I've seen that haircut before somewhere in another terrible science fiction show. That was also fiction show.
I refuse to watch Halo.
Oh, Master Cheeks? Come on.
Don't.
I will not sully my.
You know what? Master Cheeks is at least better than whatever this is.
Look, Gord and I watched War of the Worlds before this, and we're ready to go watch it again rather than continue watching this shit.
By the way, Chad, unironically, go watch Amazon's War of the Worlds. It's the best. It's the funniest movie of the last 6 years minimum.
Yeah, at least.
It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
It is.
Oh my god! Oh yes, it absolutely is a comedic masterpiece, unintentionally.
Yeah, and this is an interesting piece in terms of what's happening here, because of there's this, obviously, like as the caption says, there's a collision that's imminent, and again, this is sort of where you see Morrow. He's trying to send a message to what we think might be Yutani, but later on he could be trying to send a message to Prodigy for Boy Cavalier, or Boy Genius.
Quick question: does anyone know if Yutani is a woman in any of the lore?
I have never heard of Yutani's gender before.
That's why I said, remember when we were watching, I'm like, he said, she's calling you. I was like, so Yutani is a woman at this point.
Well, because like in Prometheus, Yutani's a man.
Let's see. Hold on.
Will and Yutani should have went with the Jessica Alba model android.
Well, again, this is Prodigy.
This is it's not.
Wayland
Wayland didn't create these synths, but they probably got the idea for kid characters from Halo lore. That's a good point. You know, with all the Spartans being, I believe all the Spartans get trained. They get like Master Chief.
They basically
children.
get
6 years old, and then they kind of go.
That's just copying the Spartans.
Yeah, but the difference is they went through extensive training, and then by the time all of them were 13 or 14, they were already fully trained Spartans that were out in the field in battle. These fucking retards had a year of training, a year in these bodies, and they seem to have mentally regressed somehow.
Yeah. I mean, if you read the book The Fall of Reach, which is by far I think the best Halo book out there, there's a story about it when Master Chief is 12 years old, and is a training program going through a scenario like one of his missions, and I mean you can just it's very detailed in terms of like what you understand, like what he's capable of at that age and that level, and like that's how like this is why he's Spartan 117 Master Chief, like he leads all the other Spartans because even at that age he's so far ahead and understands what he's faced with through the years of training and through the Spartan 2 program. But again, like these are just kids with brains that don't even know what a freaking scorpion is. I mean, just go ahead, Vex.
Sorry, so I did look it up. The Yutani Corporation is run by Hideo Yutani.
Yeah,
a man.
So this is daughter or?
He has a daughter, Jenny, who they were just involved in a conspiracy, but she didn't run the company at any point. He did.
Interesting.
She's the Hideo now.
AVP though isn't canon to the
Alien or Predator universes.
Yeah, it's like completely separate from the two.
No, this is from the extended lore. So this is like the comics.
Oh, I was referring to it.
We were talking about AVP 2.
Oh, sorry.
But that information. But you're picking that information up from comic source material, then.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there we go. I thought that was Wayland in Prometheus.
Yeah, it is Wayland in Prometheus.
It is. Yeah. I heard my name. What's up, Wayland? A good one. Someone just told me this show was amazing. Currently questioning everything he's ever told me.
You should.
Unless
they were saying I was amazed at how shit it was.
Or Molly, if they said, "Oh my God, the xenomorph is so cool. Oh my God, gore, violence, blood everywhere," which again, even that is extremely over exaggerated, which it doesn't make any sense or context to where the humans are when they get completely murked by the xeno.
And it's inconsistent. It's only like the alien will be hyper violent in scenes and then very reserved when it matters.
Molly, you should check if he eats his boogers, by the way.
Or other people's.
Mm-hmm.
Did Alien save the day? Did Amazon save the day?
No, that was in War of the Worlds.
Those War
I mean, Amazon saved Gordon Eye's day. That's definitely
Now, I love that there's this is sort of funny. This backwards like walk. So I guess it kind of did the moonwalk, the spacewalk of Michael Jackson. This is going.
Well, I mean, we have Neverland Ranch. We might as well have.
Shot was so weird when it was happening.
It looks like a penis. It's a big penis is coming.
Here's the phallic mark of the show.
They're really trying to establish that first of all, we're gonna see these kids get fucked, and there's gonna be an incest plot line at some point. That's really all these 2 episodes do.
Yeah, there really is some creepy dialogue and situations where you're like, hold up. These are children in adult bodies, and we've already used the term transition to move them over and things after that. There's creepiness everywhere.
Yeah, like it's like it would be one thing, and granted, it would still be bad. It would be one thing if like when they transferred their consciousness to these adult bodies, if they started acting like adults. It's even worse the fact that they're not hiding that they're childish in mind, and yet there's still all this dialogue that is laced with sexual undertones to it. And I'm like, you all are are you all intentionally trying to weird us out here?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, or it's like,
remember, you have a scientist who's talking to a 12-year-old in an adult body about how he has low sperm count.
Mm-hmm. It's like,
that's what Pedro Pascal did to Bella Ramsey.
I mean, she would cause low sperm count.
He calls a
She's
sperm
what
the
happens
last
when
of
you
us.
have a low sperm count. There you go.
He calls a sperm the last of us.
While I'm gonna bring the video up again for just more reference points, but while I'm going through an ad on the back end here, get a 199 dono from Waylon Bocephus. What literal retard wrote this?
Noah Hawley.
Noah Hawley, man. It's a very big surprise, honestly, but
Shieldwall is right. I mean, this absolutely falls into the Wheel of Time, Rings of Power.
Yeah. It's maybe a notch above those, like, and I mean a single notch above. Like, this is maybe a 3 out of 10. Those are like, I mean, I haven't seen Wheel of Time, but Rings of Power is like a 1 or a 2.
I'm gonna put a little video clip for Waylon here, but I guess the question that kind of remains is, well, we'll have to keep facing potentially, is would be rather watch these first 2 episodes over again, or have this happen to, I guess, all 3 of us? Because I mean, Vex, you could still get hit in the same sort of regional area.
I mean, Van Damme, my boys, let's go.
He hit 1 for each episode.
Yeah.
Getting kicked in the vagina is not pleasant, by the way, so it is possible.
Yeah, so there's this part right here where he kind of freaks out because they realize that she just, we mentioned earlier, she's able to change the code as she's watching her brother, which is also kind of weird that she's stalking her brother, via every single cam in what was the city in New Siam?
New Siam
in Thailand. So like it's again, like,
but she can basically rewrite code by touching a screen. I'm like, wow, that's a very specific superpower you got there, lass.
That actually, I just realized that functionally doesn't make sense, because through a screen you don't have access to anything technological to do that.
Yeah,
I mean, you could, but it'd be a ludicrous number of steps to get there. Let's see. I can actually cause RF by messing with the CRT, which then somehow hits a wireless point, and then I, mimic the entire networking stack, and then get to the. It's stupid.
That's true. The Wheel of Time is horrible, 1 or 2. Even if you dismiss all the fact that they dismissed the books, it's still poorly written, loaded with the MSG, and still bad acting.
The acting's bad here too.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is actually like Gal Gadot is an Oscar-winning actress compared to this entire cast.
Yeah. Well, I would say I do give some credit to the main actress. I don't think she's a bad actress, and she's putting something into the role to give it a little something. And I would say maybe the black guy who's playing the bad android, so to speak. Yeah, Morrow. Yeah, he's doing a decent job, I guess, but they're literally it. I mean,
Timothy Oliphant is painful.
He's just, the dialogue is so bad across the board that really for the vast majority of these characters, there's nothing you can get out of it. I mean, Timothy Oliphant, there's no way he could put on a good performance with this dialogue.
Anthony Hopkins would look like he had a stroke if he was trying to deliver this dialogue.
Yeah. You know what? It actually was Tropic Thunder, you mama make me happy.
Yeah, Simple Jack.
That's what they all sound like in this.
Simple Jack.
Simple Jack, thank you.
Yeah.
You never go full retard.
Oh, they did.
They definitely did. I mean, I think in terms of other things that just don't make sense in a fictional world here. There's a part where obviously like the ship is already imminently colliding with Earth, as we know.
It's out of control while traveling at about 100 miles an hour, even though it re-entered the atmosphere.
Yeah, so obviously, like with a ship that's somehow entered the atmosphere, there's zero science around it. It hasn't heated up whatsoever.
And no one on Earth seemed to know it was coming.
Yeah, like at this point, no one detected it with it's the year 2120, and you have no one detecting a giant ship that is going to crash
into a major metropolitan area.
Right. I mean, especially Prodigy City, right? With the youngest trillionaire here, right? Like that just,
which, by the way, what
overlooked.
rotten luck.
Yeah. No, the Yutani ship's going to crash in my city.
Just to add on, this all felt like a really poor 9/11 metaphor. A foreign ship crashes into the tallest buildings in a city.
Ermagerd.
And it might be orchestrated by a Jewish trillionaire.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
I just think everybody was surprised because they all know the Maginot Line is in France. Why would it be falling into our city right now? That doesn't make any sense. So they just ignored it.
Not only that, but once the ship has crashed into a 100-story building, as they say, and I believe I know I might have overlooked it, but I think they say how many floors there were that were above the surface
100.
and how many floors that go down below. I saw the numbers 80 and 20 come up on the text. I don't know if I can pinpoint it, but
yeah, it seems about right.
Like search and rescue was deployed here, and as we said, like it doesn't seem
there
like
are nearly tens of people in this building.
Yeah, like it, like you don't see anyone else sort of being rushed out. I mean, again, like what's the budget like to have a bunch of extras do that? I mean,
and by the way, the way they shoot this when they're outside of the building, like the pacing and the urgency of all the people and what's going on, like, it is staged horribly. I don't know if I can think of an example of a scene like this where you're responding to an emergency like this. That I can't think of anything that looks worse than this. That's depicting something similar. It is
unless you were doing a parody.
Looking. Yeah, I mean, like none of them seem like this is particularly urgent. It's like most of the people, it's just like, there's some coughing and a bit of screaming, but it doesn't really look all that bad.
Well,
the medic and the response team and everything, and they're just like strolling in the park, just slowly walking around like, I don't know, what should we do? And then suddenly they go, oh, we should run. Okay. And then they run for some reason.
Finish your thoughts. Sorry.
It's New York Shield Wall.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, it's like, I mean, even like the tones in which like the soldiers are speaking, like there's no urgency to it. They're just speaking almost like matter of factly. I mean, even their commands sound weird, like not, you go into this region. I mean, like they're not specific. They're just like, you go over there.
You go that way.
You go over there. Yeah.
It's like very uncertain of as to what like they're supposed to be doing, and like they find like a few people, like a handful of people. And I'm like, this thing has got 100 floors and you just come across a few people.
It also crashed between
some
two
people.
buildings.
All right. Oh boy.
Well, we do later on. Yeah.
It crashed between two buildings on top of that. And the other thing with the search and rescue is like it's never established through any of the dialogue before they get in that there might be an enemy threat. So it didn't make sense why all of the team was heavily armed and why there was only one medic for two of these 100-story buildings.
One medic led by GDEI Jane.
I was very confused by the premise for that because it made no sense, because it's not like this is a crime-laden city or anything. That wasn't established either. So why are they so heavily armed?
I mean, you'd be doing
it's a big city, I'm sure
people out. Yeah, I mean, you're going to deploy.
So then why don't you have less guns, but you still need more medics if there's that many people?
Look, you have Joe DiMaggio. What more do you want?
Joe DiMaggio.
By the way, chat, this character's name is Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah, that's his actual name.
Yeah. He's got they call him Hermit. Hermit the Frog. Not Kermit the Frog.
Hermit because he's
small.
Him Hermit.
Yeah, he does look small and frail like Kermit the Frog.
Did you guys ever watch Black Mirror at all?
Yeah.
Yes.
This retard actor, Hermit or Kermit or whatever, he was in the episode where he's the teenager that likes watching kiddie porn, and the entire 2 episodes that we see him, he has that exact same look on his face, like he just got caught watching kiddie porn.
Is it this look right here?
Yeah, that's the look he has through the entire episode in Black Mirror. It's insane.
Yes, he is actually named Joe DiMaggio. And I have already posited that a predator is going to show up because he is showing all the tisms. And we know that that's the key to evolution in the Predator universe now.
I assume he did die, Prophet. I assume he did die.
I think he
we
does
think
die,
so
yeah.
because they didn't bother to lift the fridge off of him. So I guess they're not going to try to, bring the body out or anything.
That or no one strong enough that could lift it up at that point either. So, and that could be the case too. Because I mean, who's going to lift up the medic? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Well,
he doesn't look.
the
medic
Siberian.
the medic doesn't look
Siberian.
strong enough to drag out an empty sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't look strong enough just to hold his own gun, man. Like, seriously. You'd think there'd be more standards if you were going to be like a combat medic.
He has tism powers.
So DEI is still a thing then in 100 years.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, but also future of evolution. Come on, keep up.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, you're right. I forgot about that piece of lore.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just going through the ads because I definitely want to talk about the insect, the alien tick, as we're calling it.
Oh, yeah.
And just a couple other things before we get to that. I know we've obviously said like how poorly staged this all is at this point. And as we'll find out that I think we're just at this point in the story, but there's a lot of convenience where when the search and rescue team, when they get to the ship, there's just a nice big hole with a nice ramp
and a walkway,
and a walkway that allows them to just stroll right into the ship.
All of this is debris, but somehow just makes a perfect like plank way. I mean, we're walking the plank here. Let's go. All right.
And the ways they don't even acknowledge that they're just like, oh, look at that. Well, they just walk there like they expected it to be there.
Yeah, and don't like test it to see if it's going to fall or think it's fine. We'll just walk on this and we go.
Because Romulus, I don't know. I don't remember this was confirmed to be in the production before Romulus was deemed successful or not. They might have already announced that this was happening regardless of the make or break Romulus, but
I mean, so we can blame Bex for this.
That's his superpower, dodging Xenos.
What did I do?
Look, they made the decision right after Romulus was successful. When you were standing for it, and then later you recanted, but it was too late.
Yeah, for 3 weeks I stand it for. 3
and see, they made the decision. They made this shit. Then you recanted, but they didn't notice that.
To be fair, though, even when I was standing it for those 3 weeks, I still made a lot of criticisms about it, which were in my video. So
we can blame Nadia? Is that what we're doing now?
I mean, is she even like competent to be blamed? Can she be legally held responsible for anything?
She can't be. She's not competent enough to stand trial.
Exactly. They're gonna charge her guardian.
Yeah, and again, this is just. I think Prophet mentioned this earlier in the chat. So send us in. Send Wendy and the Lost Boys into the ship as the search and rescue team because the regular search and rescue team isn't doing enough job. Also, my brother's there, and I want to help him, even though he'll have zero clue that I'm his brother, unless someone, unfortunately spills that well-kept secret.
That wouldn't happen.
No, kids wouldn't do that.
No,
right?
you can kids staying
especially
together,
if you don't tell them beforehand that you should keep it a secret. Then they don't know there's a secret to break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Grooming undertones.
Yeah, and I believe in this part too. She says she's human, right? Which I know we were just kind of like, okay, we're just gonna keep going with this and see where this train arrives at the station of lunacy, but your brother who is human can't do anything that you can do, except for maybe have a little bit of a autistic sense. But
well, the flip side is so you had initially that she's like, what am I? And it's only because Dame Mulva or whatever the fuck her name is it Sylvia that she says, well, no, you're human and all that. And then when Peter Pan here is talking about her, he's referring to her as a synth, and she's like, but I'm human. And then there's like later that she her and another one do the, we don't like to be called synths, and it just had that respect my pronouns feel going on there. But it's just she's human when plot or dialogue needs to happen, and she's synth when dialogue or plot needs to happen, and it's just everything is just flopping around. This is such shit writing.
Yeah.
There's a really just heavy exposition moment where they establish too that like the bodies that they've put these kids in, they don't have hormones and stuff, so they don't have emotional reactions because they track their mood. So through this entire first episode, she doesn't have any emotions, and then through the second episode, now like her and the other ones exhibit fear suddenly. Mm-hmm. So there's even consistency in how the mechanics work for these synth bodies, which is strange.
Yeah. And we noticed the way they're sitting because their backs are all magnetized, and that's why they were all stuck
that
together.
Was our explanation.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Vex's favorite characters right here, by the way.
Yes.
I just don't. Why would you make a synth body that looks this fucking ugly? I'm sorry.
They watched Harry Potter and they saw Ron and were like, let's make that a girl.
But at least like Ron is adorable in the first movie, right? Like he's a cute little ginger kid. Like this just like it literally looks like a porn star's anus who just went through like a triple penetration or something. It's disgusting.
That's so sad for that actress. You look at the actress, that's disgusting.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was feeling sad for that anus.
Oh my god, dude.
Sorry, Nick, if this gets
Well, I hope you enjoyed that monetization.
I'm just, you know what? I shouldn't be struck for because I didn't say it. So you can't say man, dad. I'm like, hey, a woman said it for a woman.
A brown woman said it. A brown foreign woman said it.
Exactly.
That makes it okay.
Should be okay. Should be okay.
Yeah.
In the context of things.
Plus, we're in minute 58 now. They're not listening.
Nobody's listening.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and so once they're this fucking part.
Oh my god. You mean the magnet lab?
We've got Dum Dum 1 and Dum Dum 2 that have stumbled to the magnet lab. So notice that nothing in this lab has fallen over. Nothing has been disjointed because of the crashing of a giant ship that has
there's still
through space.
The lamp on the table and all this, right? Understand, this ship has crashed into a fucking building.
Things are still covered here. Like, and they stumble upon Moro the cyborg, who understands that like, no, I'm not putting the gun down. I know how things have gone down on Earth. I'm not stupid.
I know who's mostly in prison on Earth.
I like my freedom in space here.
Can't put a black man down.
Okay, I was curious, so I looked it up. I'm kind of stunned by this. You know how old the redhead chick is?
34.
She's 30. She's 30.
30 what?
30 what?
31.
Yeah, I was like, wow,
she's 31.
Mm-hmm.
What?
She was born in 94. I was like, oh,
that's worse than like Millie Bobby Brown trying to pretend to play a fucking 17-year-old in Stranger Things season 5 here coming up.
Yeah, but she's only like 21. She just looks 35.
Exactly my point. But even some of the other kids though, I mean, like, or actors like Steve
listen, this is just to justify the kitty
intercourse
vibes even more.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay if they look like a child, but they're much older.
So
this is the inverse of that.
God.
Moving on.
Below all my inverse.
I'm just like thinking about it. Although I'm trying to make sure I pause at the right moment here. See if we can.
By the way, in that lab, like, because the rest of the ship, every part we see, it's in complete disarray except for that one. But also, the glass on one of those like alien cages breaks when it hits it, and that was never an issue before, even through a crash.
No.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Talk about a gaping review.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Yeah, the engines are still on. They're just
That's
burning away, and people are walking around. It's fine because there's no heat coming off of that apparently, and it's definitely not continuing to put thrust into the building and causing the building to fall down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, one of the things we talked about, and I had my notes here. I'm like, you guys see the boosters still on, right? And yet, like, the buildings aren't shaking, or, you know, there's like, would you say, Gord? Like, there's one piece of debris that falls down and somehow like explodes in the air, right? Like,
yeah, like a piece of flooring from the building falls onto something, and the thing explodes all of a sudden. I was like, what was the piece of flooring made of? Like gasoline? What? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, it's the same thing that the acolyte witches used to make their fortress.
I don't also because I usually like movies used to be a lot more clever with this, but you could the staircase scene where you see Tard brother jump or whatever. It's very clear that he's jumping on a faux mat, not a set piece.
Yes.
I was just like, because a lot of the positive stuff we had to say about this when the trailers were out is that, at least it looks like it has some proper production value. But even the costume that's on the xenomorph, like in at least like the 79 version, so we're talking like 50 years ago, you could see all the intricate little pieces that made up like that side flesh pieces and the mouth and everything.
Yeah.
And this you can see is just one solid piece of plastic that they've made a mold of and then slapped it onto a helmet.
Yeah,
and really strange.
And it's also very plastic looking, and it doesn't have, like they haven't gelled it or anything to give it that wet biological look. Yeah.
So everything looks insanely cheap, and it does break what little immersion there is.
Yeah, Prophet, are you talking about Katie?
Again, talking about how bad the dialogue is, where the team. So we've got Rashidi, Siberian, and Hermit.
I realized what you're about to cover.
Wait, what?
Something crawled out of here.
Something. So they say Rashidi goes, something crawled out of her, and then Siberian goes, "What do you mean crawled out?"
What do you mean
crawled out? What crawled out means?
I believe it ambulated via at least 4 limbs. That's
I think what's worse is that it's like he says something crawled out, and then the camera pans to the blood trail where something clearly crawled out.
What do you mean?
Yeah. And then I want to see if I can try and find it.
Maybe he was being offended at the use of the word something.
Just so they're right now they're following that blood trail, right? And then they somehow miss fucking this.
Yep.
Yeah.
You like there's a whole round room of cryo chambers. You wouldn't think to check all of them and see, holy shit, what the hell is this?
After Nick, someone just said something crawled out of
them. I think it's important to point out this is not actually crawling.
True.
Oh, okay, good.
So why would you even look for it?
True. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
It's like
what even is crawling?
Right. Can we have the definition and use it in a sentence, please?
Yeah.
By the way, look at how specifically this is broken open, because this thing obviously didn't break out, but the glass caved in specifically, it folded over 4 ways perfectly.
It's like a rectangle.
And all that. Yeah,
it's like
no
a
body
box
either.
that has some cellophane on it.
It literally broke that way so they could get the camera on it and you would know what it is.
Yep.
It's like a 90-degree angle here. Like what the hell is this?
Well, it's just a cellophane folding around the edges.
Also, the only face hugger we saw before this ship went down was just like it was dead and it was in like a tube of
capsule
preservative.
Preservative.
Yeah. So how did these ones get out? Because there was no indication that the one female scientist, which is how this whole happened, was like managed to get that out, because no other alien chambers are broken in that lab.
Yeah, and to Prophet's point, it was like when you said, how did the eyeball get out? And that's like one of those things we were talking about. Like, should we have seen how the breakout happened? What caused the disarray on the ship? And like when Gord said, like, we would have been fine if we didn't really see how that all happened.
Yep.
It's like the ship's there, we see them all fine, and boom, ship crashes and everyone's dead. Like, because you can presume what had happened.
Like literally, if you like, there's two ways to do this. You could show it as like completely, or you start the show. You literally should start the show where you see the android piloting and entering the information. You see the girl. Like maybe you could maybe kind of keep the sound a little bit muted as you're kind of zooming into what he's doing. And then as you start to build the sound up, you see, oh, there's something chaotic going on. You show the woman banging on the window and then get killed. And that's a much better start to your show than trying to recreate the dinner table scene from Aliens and then all these autistic flashes to things that happen. That's how you should start the show and leave it mysterious or something. And then you can show all this stuff.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, again, like when we were talking about how people are probably going to say this show is amazing because of the violence and the gore. And listen, that's great. And this type of show should have that. But that doesn't make it a completely, high scoring show because you've got gore and violence. I mean, like the xenomorph should be gory.
There are rules to your violence still, but the mere presence of violence isn't good. Yep. There needs to be reason. There needs to be, mechanics to it.
Yeah, you have to have suspense. You have to have the horror that sets it up or whatever. Just I'm just going to have 90 minutes of violence. Whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, we had so like the first time when you see the Xeno, it grabs a woman and just ragdolls her, and I was like, oh, I appreciate that because that's exactly how that shit would go down. I mean, she would just be nothing and gets destroyed. But then it's flying around and it just becomes like Zorro cutting people up and just disappearing. It's
like a Tasmanian devil with like swords or something.
Carving
people shreds in seconds.
Just made out of razor blades.
Yeah, but like this, like even like this bug thing, there's a scene earlier where this thing falls onto this guy and he reaches back down. He feels it, it then goes in his shirt, and then he just ignores it for several minutes. He doesn't even make reference to it until this scene where it comes back out. And I'm like, so you felt it hit you, and then you just whatever.
No, there's an explanation for this, I feel, as well. He didn't feel it because he was either on drugs or he's gay. So anything that he would feel on the lower ends, it's just normal.
I think more importantly, he doesn't know what bugs are because, I mean, the girl didn't know what a scorpion is. He doesn't even know. I think bugs may have been eliminated on Earth.
That's true. Yeah. British Timothy Chalamet is not hiring the brightest people just even for his robots. So who's to say his security team is better?
They're not sending him their best and brightest.
Yeah, well, they're certainly not getting hired for their looks.
Gemma, you didn't like episode 1. It's okay. You could lie to us.
You shouldn't have. No, it's fine. You can like it. It's fine. It's still bad. It's really bad.
But yeah, I mean, like when you look at the bug that crawls down his back and then it finally it reveals itself, and then it's like he doesn't know where it is, but he can't see it. But wouldn't you be able to detect where it is because it's crawling on your skin?
Well, again, it's the fact that it hit you at all. You obviously didn't feel it leave your body. It crawled under your shirt, and you reached back because you felt it. It didn't go anywhere. It's like at best it stopped moving, but you'd be like, okay, there's this thing on me. That's where he doesn't say anything, and they just kind of forget about it for several minutes until here.
I mean, Gemma,
sorry, go ahead.
If that was the general consensus, I thought it looked great and sounded great. I mean,
it's written atrociously. That's kind of the consensus.
Yep.
It's written horribly.
The writing is atrocious. The dialogue is also atrocious. The acting is.
I mean, it's hard to tell because of the dialogue. It is so bad, and then the editing is shit.
Well, Jamie, you said okay. It looked and sounded great. I I'll just break it to you this way: aesthetics is kind of all this show has going for it, and even those,
yeah.
I guess they're fine for a TV show, but aesthetics are kind of all they got. And no, Timothy Oliphant is not great in this show. I'm sorry, and I'm a big fan of Timothy Oliphant, but even he can't save his character.
It's
just
weird
the setup for this entire sequence was quite irritating as well, because first of all, one robot with this tiny pistol approaches these dudes who have these giant fully automatic weapons. They bend to his will, then they cuff him to a pole because reasons, and then these tick things bite them, and there's literally no payoff. Like, even in the second episode, there's absolutely no payoff to that entire interaction.
And we don't know what they potentially transform into, right? Like, what is
I think we do.
Well, yeah,
I thought the ticks were maybe that thing hanging from the
the opium poppy.
We presume that's what happens.
That has night emissions.
Yeah, and like, listen, I'm all for like seeing and learning more about these weird alien creatures, and I think that's where like the real fascination lies behind. But when we're not really seeing that majority of the time, and we're getting these boring characters and this boring dialogue and just a slow moving story itself, it's like, it's really hard to kind of get behind the mystery of the show that's called Alien Earth.
Yes, it's not building tension. It's building aggravation.
Just to add on to that as well, Jamma, like, in terms of the dialogue, like, the first episode is spent mainly giving us exposition dumps of the same thing over and over again. And then over the course of episode 1 and 2, we get these long, out of context monologues that don't have any relevance to what's happening on screen, have any relevance to the characters that have been established, or even have any relevance to the giant scene that is playing out with a fucking xenomorph just running wild in a pair of apartment buildings. The whole Peter Pan reading thing was useless. Timothy Oliphant's monologue with the scorpion was useless. His monologue in the airship on the way to the crash ship, also absolutely useless. Like, usually those kind of things are used as a device to help not just the audience kind of consider that maybe there are deeper or bigger things happening, but equally it's supposed to reflect something that the characters who are hearing the monologue are about to go through or realize to help develop their arc. And that doesn't happen. Retard Girl still acts like a retard following each one of those monologues.
You're going to have to be more specific about which one you mean when you say retard girl.
Okay, a skinny retard girl with the incest vibes.
Oh,
okay,
God.
Gotcha.
Again, like, we're talking about dialogue, and like, this was just a weird section where he's like, "You used to be food," and we were like,
he's basically it's a monologue that's an attempt to sound smart, but it's really just a roundabout way of him trying to tell her your brother is going to die at some point. That's literally the whole point of this. It's like, just say that.
Yeah.
You can just say that.
The food thing, though, just doesn't, like, this is what threw me off, because I think even while you were watching, you were saying, like, oh, well, humans used to be food on the food chain. But even when we were just, like, if we're looking back a couple thousand years, we were still kind of at the top of most food
No, it's what I said. You look back, take away our technology, and we are just food.
Then that still doesn't make sense, because how could she be food when she's not even a human? Like, she's
that's what he's talking about. He's like, you are, and then after he does this, he goes, but you're not one of them anymore. You're not human anymore.
But she knows that.
And he's does she? Because she can't apparently figure out that her brother will eventually die, which is what he's saying, and she's thinking that he's talking about the immediacy. She's also 12 mentally.
This is so confusing.
She doesn't understand her brother will die, but she at the beginning of the show understood the concept of killing a scorpion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, she's human because she said so.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's
again,
the
this is there. If I was just looking at like this dialogue atomically outside of the rest of this thing, I would be like, yeah, I mean, it would be kind of a mournful thing. It's the kind of, again, this has got that I'm trying to be creepy Michael Fassbender vibes to it, but even less intelligently than Damon Lindelof did somehow.
Yeah, like you feel like he's trying to convey to her
Jack Burton
that even if you save him now, you're gonna live so long that he'll, like, you get the sense like he's trying to tell her it's like he'll be dead at some point and you'll live so much longer after. that it's just kind of a blip. But the metaphor he's giving has nothing to do with that. It's like, just say what you mean or come up with a better one.
Yeah, he's trying to say that she is the next evolution of mankind, right?
Yeah.
That you'll no longer be, suffer death and you're essentially immortal. The problem is that you're early, and a lot of these people that ain't gonna make it. And that don't be attached to them. You need to start detaching now, because this is how it's going to go. It's better for everyone. But again, I'm going to try and talk in a bit of metaphor and vague pseudo philosophy because it sounds smart, and it's dumb person writing smart.
It's this show's version of ships floating, like you said in the chat.
Yeah.
Just to add on to, like, in the first monologue he gives with the scorpion, at least there is, like, he gets to the purpose pretty easily because he questions her logic and things, and then he gets to the point. With the one in the ship, it doesn't make any sense because he just starts monologuing and it goes absolutely nowhere. Like, the message he's trying to convey isn't clear. So it's like two different people wrote the character in those two instances. So as just establishing that character's purpose as well as their personality, you've done a poor job because you've just confused your audience.
Actually, I think the scorpion dialogue is worse.
Scorpions I'm not saying any of it's good, but like at least the scorpion dialogue, it reached a point where you could follow it, right? Like it was clear what he was trying to do. With the one on the ship, it's just I don't know what you're trying to really say here. Like none of this makes sense.
Yeah, he's just trying to tell her you need to stop worrying about your brother because you're not really one of him anymore. Also, and you're going to outlive him by a lot.
I'm just realizing that why the fuck wouldn't you say that earlier when you were with her, when you confronted British Timothy Chalamet? Like, I need to go to save my brother. Like, why wouldn't you bring it up then? Why are you on the plane?
I don't think he was in the room for that, was he?
He was.
Was he?
He was standing right next to her.
Well, he doesn't talk when Timothy Chalamet talks. People listen.
This show is so retarded.
It is. Again, it's it's not what plot needs. What does this moment need? Okay, I'm going to write that, and then it's just moments in flying in loose formation, and I wish they would all disperse.
Yeah, I mean, again, like there's just weird things that are pointed out to us. I mean, we're in episode 2 here talking about like, well, I don't think they died in the crash. I mean, what gave that away?
Shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, it might have been the missing eyes, and
yeah,
and in fact, I think she has like a scalpel or something in her hand. Yeah,
it's kind of hard to see with the caption, but yeah, she's missing eyes because if you don't know, there's a sort of like I think it's in this episode we actually get a better look at it, which
it is Shield Wall. Yeah, it's a Disney Star Wars show.
Pretty much.
Why do rocks sink and boats float?
That's I said that. I was like, no, listen, if you bring that up, we are going to have words.
We're theorizing that maybe the android on board the ship might have been like because this whole thing seems to more benefit Prodigy than Weyland Yutani.
We think Morrow works for Prodigy.
Yeah. Now how Morrow can work for them, I'd love to know how that works because they're not going to put. I mean, a lot of their androids, as established in Romulus, look the same. So there are many Morrow models. So it's like,
no, he's not an android. He's a cyborg.
This is the.
That's the problem again. Look, I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna have the hybrids, the cyborgs, and the androids, and
yeah, this is the Leonardo DiCaprio GIF.
Yeah, yep.
It says the word alien. Yeah.
We didn't. We didn't mention my favorite thing from episode 1, which was the music.
Oh yeah,
oh,
what was it?
They do that a couple of times where they have this weird female choir. Like it's like music out of like Dark Souls or something, where you just suddenly hear like,
it's like it's like if you snuck up behind a soprano and stuck your thumb up her butt.
It's like they like in a line goose 3 women.
Yeah, we made the joke about the dude who has like the tick that is the other one, not the first one that sucks it out of his neck, but the other one kind of goes down his shirt, and we were like, yeah, it's going to suck it right out of his balls, and he's like, he dies with his O face like this.
Yeah, yep, it's his O face down. What we didn't realize is that he made it into this episode.
Yeah, somehow that took its time sucking the blood out of his nether regions.
Well, he looked like the kind of guys that had his balls are full. He hasn't been able to make a deposit in a while.
Not only that, but as we pointed out, because the stairs don't work, the elevators do though. So that's also very convenient.
Yeah,
that's also very convenient.
You know, because buildings are definitely not built to have like stairs be really structurally integral, but the elevators. Nah.
Yeah. And I think this is where, there's some weird dialogue between Tinkerbell and Peter Pan here, which again, he's just trying to sound smart.
Oh,
basically says
this is what he's like. Oh, I'm not in it for the money. I know everybody thinks the trillionaires into that, and I'm definitely not in it for ego. And then he proceeds to demonstrate his massive, overinflated ego.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry, Skynet will still happen. Relax.
Yeah.
Well,
but only because I need to have a conversation with someone of my intellect.
Yeah, not you, Tinkerbell, or Dame Sylvia.
Yeah.
What a cold diss to a woman. Yeah, and again, like just the weird relationship between Slightly and Wendy. I think it's slightly stupid.
It's slightly stupid.
Even though they're 1 year apart. So she's 12 and he's 11, right?
Yeah.
As they established in this episode. But what was the God? He says something again. It's just the dialogue here. He talks about did a ship really crash? Isn't that what he says?
No, he asks if there's any tikka masala on board.
Well, he's the one that becomes obsessed about the bear, isn't he?
Yes.
There was a bear. There was a bear going around in here.
There was a bear on the ship.
There was a bear on board that ripped people to shreds.
Ready
or into curry.
That's cursed.
This ship came from outer space, but there's a bear. Oh, there's a bear.
Bears from Outer Space is the new sci-fi movie we got from India.
Yeah, the worst part though is that he mumbles with the Indian accents.
If we didn't have subtitles, we wouldn't know what the heck he was saying.
God.
Yeah, and also where they make this giant leap across the stairway here.
But by the way, just going back to the accent thing real quick, it's like these bodies they put them into, why would they have any accent? Like their adult bodies weren't raised in India. That doesn't make a lick of sense.
So I mean, but it's again that they just wake up and it's fine. They're talking as they would have as children. But that's again, we miss if you're going to do children's brains are more plastic and all this stuff, you still have to. Oh God, there are. I'm not sure you'll love it, but go ahead. So if you do the I'm going to be smart and they have to be plastic brains and they then go to a different body, you have to learn the physicality of that body. I mean, you're going to have to learn how to walk again. You're going to have to learn all that because you don't have the benefit of going through puberty and having that gradual learning as things go. And everybody remembers, when you hit puberty, you were, stumbling and bumping into things and all that, right? Because your kinesthetic sense of self is different than what you actually are. Especially when you're having like growth spurts or whatever. I mean, these kids are jumping, 20 years in age and they just get up and it's fine. Here we go. And except for you've been talking all the time.
We should go have some nice curry after this. Bear curry. Huh?
And look, I appreciate safe gun usage here. And he's got his
show trigger discipline there.
Yep. Except when you realize that you're in danger. I'm in danger. And there isn't going to be a human that's going to come out of that dark hole in the ceiling there. It's probably going to be some sort of serious threat. So, I mean, he does put his finger on the trigger at one point, but I would have started blasting. So anyway, I started blasting. I would just started just firing right at that very moment.
Yeah.
Like this.
But but it's obvious why he doesn't, because we know in the medicines that if he happens to start shooting, well, he's going to get melted, of course. So we know he can't shoot, but he should not know that, and he should start shooting because that's the natural reaction.
Exactly.
And by the way, we haven't even brought up the fact that, okay, so literally there's him and his two squad mates they're between two stairways that they have to leap across, and this annoyed the crap out of me because it's a pretty long jump they have to make. And all three of them make it while still wearing gear they could have tossed across, which would greatly hinder your jump.
Yep.
That irked the absolute crap because it's a long way down if you don't make it.
Yeah, you're not surviving that.
He's wearing a backpack for Carlos, but no, he just hits that in through the power of editing, survives.
Bro, your chest, like the ribs, all his ribs broken.
Well, that's all right. He's wearing a backpack. He's about to land on it. But again, it's through no cause of based on physics. Look, somehow he just slung underneath there.
I was going to say he didn't fall off, right? Like
he didn't bounce off like a normal person.
Yeah.
Gravity would be like this.
Yeah.
Instead, he went like this.
Yep. Whoop. Magnets. It's magnets.
I don't know.
Thank God for the magnetic concrete wall.
Yeah. I'm just so baffled by this. Like it's like you're trying to make us believe this, and it's just it's really hard to fathom. Like in a fictional fucking show, like it's insane. I'm sorry. Like and like look, if you like this, I guess I'm happy for you.
I'm not.
If you like this, you're probably missing a lot of brain cells, and you shouldn't procreate.
Sorry, Gemma.
Or you've collected too many chromosomes.
I love you, Gemma, but seriously, like this is like I think there's something to be said if like you can admit that it's really bad, but you had fun with it, then it's different.
Sure.
But if you think this is actually good, like I'm sorry, you're retarded.
Right. Like I mean, like you guys have been joking about War of the Worlds, right? I mean, if you could maybe somehow apply that same sort of.
Well, Gordon and I both agree that show is a 0 out of 10 objectively, and it's a 10 out of 10 entertainment wise.
Mm-hmm.
Alien Resurrection was better than
this. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
I bet Melvin likes this. I'm actually really curious to see what he might say about this.
It might be right up his alley based on true life.
Yeah, we already pointed out some stuff when we were watching, and boy, Melvin would be especially.
Dude, Predator 2 is leagues ahead of this.
Yeah, Predator 2 is definitely. I mean, Predator 2, granted, gets more love than it deserves these days because it's not a particularly good movie, but it's definitely better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
it's just better than all the other Predator movies except the first one.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I mean, and as we were saying, like as you're going through this episode, like there's a lot that is just very forgettable. You know, there's really nothing that really sticks out, of importance. I mean, I believe it's here where she finally does something with the code that they're able to pick up on, and
that's when the Feel My Fury or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. Because she, as you pointed out, good one. Like we noticed that she's touching the monitors, like where you're seeing this warbly, rainbow like sort of touch on it. That only really happens if you use a magnet. So it's like, well, when she somehow has some sort of magnetism to her synthetic body.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that somebody in the effects department actually understands how CRTs work and was able to mimic that effect visually, right? With her touching or whatever. And I'm like, kudos to that guy. I'm so sorry your talents were wasted on this show.
Yeah. So here's Miss Yutani, right, Vex? She's not married, right?
Yeah, I don't know if this is married or not, but this is the person that owns the Yutani Corporation. Yeah.
Which so for those of you who haven't watched it, basically what this is, telling us is that it's her ship. She wants it back, and obviously it crashed into, Boy Cavalier, Boy Genius's, prodigy, city. So she's like, well, okay, just send us a bill, but give me back my ship. I want my ship back.
Give me back my ship.
Give me back my ship.
She wants reparations.
No, I think he does, right?
He offers them.
Oh, okay, yeah. AVP is better than Aliens versus Predator.
What?
What? That is AVP though.
AVP is better than itself.
AVP is better than this. That's
I would actually argue that AVP is worse than AVP.
That could also be true.
Yep.
I don't know what happened. What's going on?
I could honestly defend either position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
this show scares me because I realize I'm gonna have to watch 6 more fucking episodes of this thing.
I know.
At
least we're getting like the 2-episode chunk out of the way.
Yeah.
Luckily for Vex, she's gonna miss a couple weeks. So, but I mean, she'll.
I'm missing 1 week. It looks like.
And you'll still have to watch it anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Maverick, Deep Throat is scarier and a better movie than this.
Yeah, I think with where's this scene here? When they're actually on the ship, the Lost Boys. Yeah, so this is what we think the tick creature that sucked the guy's neck and the guy's junk, presumably, turns into. So this is
that's why it ejaculates.
Right. This is what this metamorphosis is. Right. And homeboy here on the right decides to get. I don't know if I pass it or what point it is.
No, I think they're just discovering it in that scene. So this would be later. I think when you're talking about him getting like way too close to it.
Yeah, he just starts getting way too close.
When he decides to do the lambada, the forbidden dance, and he reenacts the biologist from Prometheus.
I'll find it here after this stupid commercial break. But oh shit, hold on. No, wait, hold on. Here we go.
Oh god, you found something worse.
No, I thought this is the only part. So listen, if you haven't watched this episode yet, if you're a cat lover,
if
you're a cat lover, you might not want to watch this part. Or maybe just close your eyes and listen, and I'll tell you when it's over. But so we've got a kitty here. That darn kitty, she probably won't like this part here. But again, there happens to be a cat on board, right? Why not have a
of course,
because Jonesy was on board.
Member berries. Yep. That's why.
Yeah.
Although this gave me member berries for Reanimator.
But notice this its left eye is not doing so well.
It's a little bigger.
Yeah, because I'll have to pause it for a second. But we actually see one of the alien creatures a lot better here. Didn't hate
somehow this cat emotes more than all of the cast.
And it has a broken back.
Exactly, Lucy. Yeah. Dogs is greater than cats.
Yeah, I'll side with that.
I mean, I'm more a cat person, but I get both. I can understand either.
I'm just kind of waiting for a second for it not to ding me for this, but this is kind of I like the creepiness of this part, right? Like I think if we get
it's over and done with so quickly,
but right, but
the problem is it also jumps the shark very quickly.
Yeah. And
also makes you wonder, why did this creature jump into the cat at all?
Because it's living and it just anything go.
Anything that moves, regardless of what it might be. Like it's.
I mean, I would assume the cat was intact when he jumped in. So
yeah, and then the cat wasn't in the lab, so it wasn't safe.
I mean, I gotta say, like the
plop,
like the visual effects, great. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah,
money well spent, in my opinion. So it's again, like you're saying, it looked great or it sounded great. Some questionable songs in this show.
This is this entire cat scene was another instance where the first episode really dropped the ball in not spending more time on that ship and showing
Yes.
us what happened before
Yep.
crashing. Because as much as I like cats and animals, I really didn't like, this wasn't cool to me. This wasn't particularly outstanding because I didn't see any of the crew interact with this cat before it died.
So it's like you these shows tend to forget it's like there's an added creep factor if there's familiarity added to
Right.
it. This
Yeah,
is
well-
merely a cat that has a monster inside it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and at the beginning, you know, when you show the crew, but you don't actually have any interaction with them or anything that's worth a damn other than you sex pest and then, you know, a couple others. But you see the cat like just walk by, and it was like, oh, there you go, I introduced it, and it was like that's not what setup and payoff is. But the bigger thing is, again, this is a moment that then just leaves, other than we put it under a pan and have one of the special needs kids just lean on the pan to keep it down. Right now I do want to ask chat, who do you think this is? Is this Kang or is this Kodos? I have my own theories about which one this is.
I think it's Kang personally.
Yeah. I mean, I'd vote for him.
You know, I don't know if anyone out there has ever played World of Warcraft, the vanilla WoW. But if you're familiar with that game and you're familiar with raiding the Temple of Anchorage, AQ40 for short, you fight Cthulhu, you know, or Cthulhu, however you want to call it. But you know, it's obviously like that Cthulhu type of what's the? I'm totally blanking on his name.
Lovecraft.
Lovecraft, yeah, Lovecraftian-ness to this creature here, which is again, it's cool.
I was more impressed that you knew my early porn name, Vanilla Wow. It was,
but again, Vex's favorite character is weirded out by it.
That's her face like throughout.
Yeah.
I kind of love how like the eyes just sort of split from one till, I don't know, a multi-eye faceted creature, you know, almost like some sort of.
It's looking in 360 degrees, trying to find something to snack on.
Yeah, where's my next food?
Yep.
But again, like,
however, we do have a bit of a problem here because none of these are humans.
Right. So there's two issues here. I think for the sake of arguing, it's just trying to find something that, again, like what does it detect? Does it detect anything that moves? Is it, you know, does it go based off of sound? Does it have some sort of like infrared, you know, like vision? Like what is it? What is its, you know, heats? And like the aliens have one, like the predators, you know, the Yautja have one, right? So like, or the xenomorph rather. Does this thing have some sort of type of vision that it can detect what it is? But we know, like, hey, like you're not going to get any source of nutrition here from these synthetics. I mean, that we know of. Maybe somehow it does on a weird note, but maybe it feeds off of magnetism. We don't.
Oh, it could be it. Yeah.
You know,
it's magnetically attracted.
But this part here, when it launches and she stops it, now she should be strong at this point. Like she should still have that, you know, strength in theory that Wendy has, that Wendy possesses. So she should be able to just sort of like grab it and then sort of like, you know, rip it apart.
Yeah, or just crush it in her hand.
Crush it, right? Just like a water balloon. Just pop the damn eyeball. Like,
yep.
Oh, there's some sort of acid on your hands. Cool. You just go back and get it repaired, right? Like it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. Or maybe your hands can withstand whatever sort of blood or ooze that comes out of this thing. Like again, these are just weird. I think they're just like questions that don't get even asked in the writing room. Like, you know,
yeah, it's again, this will be a cool moment without actually thinking through what the logic is or anything like that. And
because they talk about, oh, there's a bug, kill it, right? They just try to throw an object and kill it. Or what about one of the other characters coming up and trying to help her and grab it at this point and then squish it in his hand? Like there's just so many things that could have been explored here. And again, you might think, well, what if this is the only creature? It's probably not, because we've seen, multiple insects that suck the blood out of people.
Yep.
We know there are multiple face huggers, which means there's going to be multiple xenomorph running around. So they're in theory, again, with that same sort of logic, there has to be more than one of these. I don't know what we're calling
xenomorphs running around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's multiple species of xenomorphs running around. You have no idea what's on here. But the other thing is, she has fear. Why? Because we already had the conversation about how you don't have fear. You don't have a limbic system anymore.
Oh, we'll get to that fear part. That's for damn sure.
Just to add to the xenomorph thing too, again, search and rescue team, no communication, no one's calling on radios or anything. There are definitely multiple xenomorphs running around. We have alien creatures running around, which multiple people in different parts of the ship have noticed. No other team is called for containment. There is not a single character that has some sort of sense of urgency that this might be damaging to the larger civilian population whatsoever.
Yeah, to include two of the team members that saw the xenomorph go after Hermit.
Right. And then when Hermit finally encounters the xenomorph shortly in the apartment building, it's a giant nothing burger, and instead he refers to it as a pet and an animal rather than this weird fucking alien creature from this spaceship tried to just kill me and we need to get the fuck out of here. And so it's like, oh, my baseball.
Yeah, which, by the way, the fact that there is even a baseball in that scene with the Reggie Jackson signature when this character who finds it happens to be called Joe DiMaggio, it's like, come on, what are we doing here? This is so stupid.
Yeah, this is like bring your special needs kid to work and let him write the script kind of stuff. Where
and like you see it sort of contained in that moment, but same thing. Like I almost imagine either it's going to find a way to rattle itself around and knock the microscope off of it, which then will in turn, allow it to be running loose again, or someone's just going to walk by and be like, let me take this microphone or some microscope off of the this bin here, and then let's turn this bin over, and then it's gonna suction cup right on this person's face and go in their eyeball and suck their brain out. It's just it's weird.
I mean, this thing is going to starve to death if it has to feed on brains.
I mean, at least there's got animals around it, maybe in theory. There's a couple more points in this episode 2 here. One that we're going to get to here. So there's a party going on, like a Renaissance party. That there's a fancy, I guess wealthy family. I forgot the name of it.
They're dressed in like French couture.
Yeah, they're waiting for the Caspians.
Yeah,
the Caspians. That's right.
Like legitimately, and I said this while we were watching it too. I thought that they were all dressed like that because somehow, somewhere, like that fucking retard Dan Trachtenberg, that pistol from 1718 is just gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna show up.
Oh my God.
Yep. Well, I mean, the other option is that they accidentally walked onto the set of some other show and they just thought, well, we got to keep it. Cameras are rolling. Let's go.
It felt completely out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're totally unaware that a giant fucking spaceship hit the building and knocked out multiple floors and all that. And they're just unaware of it.
Yeah, and we were mentioning that the radio comms have been down. Aside from Joe or Hermit, the medic who has one, and in this moment when he's looking for someone, he kind of gets startled by a flashlight being pointed at his face.
Sentient flashlights are
shuddering here.
He's startled by seeing the flashlight's light on the walls. It scares him, and I'm like, why would that scare you? It's a flashlight.
Look, he had an incident with sentient flashlights that they're like sentient donuts. Sometimes they get a little touchy. It's a problem.
Wouldn't you be relieved at this moment? Like, oh God, thank you.
It's like, oh, people. It's like, oh, what? He's like, oh no, the xenomorph has learned to control a flashlight.
Yeah, it's a big pinpoint.
Maverick, I am in no way surprised that Grace Randolph thinks this is the best show she's ever seen.
Not at all surprised. She called Superman near perfect.
Yeah. I think if you listen to Grace Randolph for your reviews, seek help. Just seek help.
Put down the crayons.
So again,
stop using them as a snack.
Yeah, guys. What was it? Elmer's paste. It's not edible. It's not a snack, guys. No. It's not a snack. So notice the statue in the background, which again I think was a cool touch. Not the statue itself, but what we were about to see here, as they're knocking at the door, and then hopefully it doesn't ding me here on the stupid playback, but we get another again like just a WTF. What's with all that racket? I think is what he says. Like, there's so much noise, and it's like, sir, there's a ship that crashed into the building. He's like, oh yeah, like
y'all realize this is like the costume that one of the pirates in At World's End wore, like the French one, like almost identical to that. And it's like when they opened the doors, I was like, what are we doing, show? What is this?
I think it was a callback to Ridley's first movie.
You think so?
Yeah.
Clearly. I do recall the scene with the French pirates.
Yep.
It's true.
I mean, I do like how the xenomorph is fairly sneaky, because obviously in the background now
I mean they always have the ability to camouflage and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the fact that he did it with modern art, there is something kind of funny about that.
I appreciated that. I will say, like, there's a couple.
Yeah, I didn't hate that. I was like, that's kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's undermined by the stupidity of everything else going on in this.
Yeah.
Like so far this show, I am 100% team xenomorph here.
Yes, kill everybody.
Like
you know what? Given the way that this xenomorph tends to act in different situations, maybe this is our Jeremy of xenomorphs.
Mm-hmm. Oh no,
not Jeremy.
God.
I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, we had low expectations. We were like, there was at least like a baseline level of competence that was being expected. Shame about those expectations.
By the way, Molly, if you can enjoy something terrible, watch War of the Worlds.
Yes,
it's amazing.
It is.
Yeah,
it is
the
Troll 2 of our generation.
Well. It is. I might try to watch that tomorrow. But
yeah,
I haven't laughed that hard at a movie in years. Oh my God, was that thing magnificent? White Bear was going to have to explain to his wife why he was still shaking from laughing from that.
Oh, we just got a nice little bump in.
Nadia rated. That's why.
Nadia,
oh my God,
the sweet summer child.
Nadia was this. By the way, War of the Worlds, our little watch party. It was the rare instance where Nadia had seen a movie where 3 other people with her hadn't.
That's true.
Yeah, when she made a post saying that she saw War of the Worlds, and my comment was, so you watched this movie instead of watching a plethora of other better movies that you could have watched and should have watched before this. Gotcha.
Yeah,
but I understand.
Yeah,
I mean,
War of the Worlds. Watch with people. Watch with alcohol.
I'm glad she had fun with you guys. No, I really am.
Well, again, White Bear actually said that this could be a replacement for alcohol. If you just take War of the Worlds and inject it in his veins, he would never drink again.
What's up, Bobby? How you doing, man? I'm here now. It's not my fault. I refuse to take responsibility for my words. Blame Leon. Naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah. I blame Leon for most people's words.
Yeah. People on the show are done with the Mr. Fantastic, both of them in the MCU. Yeah, shout out to the 97 folks tuning in. Appreciate all of you watching on X and the U of Tubes here for this show.
Yeah.
Whatever we're calling it, this show. He's got a nice set of teeth here. Look at my grill.
Oh, thank God, Gooch. I'm glad.
And again, it looks like he's wearing he looks like he's wearing a latex, sex suit.
Gooch gets it.
This is what I mean. You can see it's a plastic mold on the side. It's production value where? And then he's on a fucking grill. It's not even teeth. The xenomorph has a grill.
Yeah.
There's something weird about it too.
Well, he is black.
It also looks like he's wearing a blindfold. Did you notice that, like at the beginning when the head backs up and you kind of see it and was like, why are they wearing a blindfold? Is this some sort of kinky
xenomorph?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Like the dome part of its head almost looks a bit like it's like too matte.
Yeah. Again, it just looks like latex.
You know?
Like in the first movie, it's actually translucent and you can see underneath it. You know, this is just, and again, I mean, if you're going to go with like, I'm going to use the flat or whatever, then what you do is you take KY jelly and put it over the plastic so that it looks moist and much like the aliens were.
You know what? Okay, maybe here's a possible explanation for why this looks like the Jeremy of xenomorphs. Okay, this is one of David's xenomorphs.
Possibly.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, so aren't
yeah,
they all
but I
children?
I feel like there's the assumption. Does the way that Covenant ends? I feel like there's the assumption that David still hadn't perfected them. So this is like our tarred xenomorphs, our Jeremys coming through.
So 2 years later, they learned to deal with their ashy skin.
Yes, I guess so.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly, Gooch. The Wang, I believe his name was
Tang, I think.
Tang Wang, Wang Tang.
Tang, you know, like the astronauts drink in space.
Wait, was his name actually Tang?
I think it was Ting. T-E-N-G.
Tang. Ting. Yeah.
Got a Tang for the Wang.
Mm-hmm. Gooch, watch War of the Worlds. It's hilarious.
It's magnificent.
Yeah, okay,
it's way more entertaining than this.
This is like the first iteration of when we see a lot of this gore and violence, which again, love the fact that the Xeno was able to kind of, you know, make its way into this party and just trash everyone. But when you actually see where the splatter marks are, where the bodies are, I mean, like
you're like, yeah, it's like mechanically.
The body is like it's missing its like entire chunk of its like, you know, midsection now, and it's like, how did the Xeno eat through that in like a split second? It just
it's like this thing up like did all like when you see the totality of the carnage and you think back to how long it took, which we're talking mere seconds. It's got you have these people seated and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you're like, how would this even be possible to have occurred this way? It's literally, it's like people are positioned this way because this is how they want the shot to look. They want it to look like a Victorian painting, but with a lot of gore. Like they think that looks super cool.
So you can argue that like a number of them are killed by the tail. But again, you've got Homeboy that's just like his torso is eaten through like from shoulders down to groin.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
There was True Detective Night Country did this shit last year. So they had the human icicle or whatever. Like all of the people that died in the mystery had just piled on top of each other and frozen in this weird corpsicle thing. And in one of the interviews I was able to find, it turned out that they had that idea and they just wrote it in somehow. Like someone just imagined that and they wanted it in the show, so they did it. Yeah. I imagine this is another one of those, this would be really cool to have a bunch of French people for some reason bloodied up. And then here's the explanation for it.
Yeah, but again, that's this whole show is nothing but, here's an idea for a cool little moment, and then you get that, but there's no real sane connection between all of them.
Right. I'm actually equally more confused by this because they're in Thailand hosting a French Renaissance costume party.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Like this like
Our
this
Lady
falls
Boy's
apart.
still a thing 100 years later.
They got lost. They thought they were in Vietnam.
I mean, it would have made sense if they were, maybe leaned over on the table, like trying to get up, and they kind of got slashed because of the viciousness and the power that the Xeno has, kind of spins them around, or But I mean, just
or again, homegirl here should, like, if her head was leaned back and you just had gaping neck wound because it just got slashed or whatever. But no.
Yeah, it's just things that don't make sense. And I mean, just an absorbent amount of blood everywhere. And then, of course, the Xeno, I think it was probably that might have mentioned it earlier on, where the Xeno's in the second story up here, and it just makes this like lunge attack at Joe. And again, this is the second time that Joe has been able to somehow dodge him.
You know what it is? And Goodwin mentioned it earlier. It's just how like autism was the future of the Yautja in The Predator. Maybe, Pedo brother is the future of the Xenomorph. And he's just like, I can't kill him. We need to keep him alive.
I think there's an autism arms race between the aliens and the Predators.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Honestly, the headcanon we're making is just better than whatever this is.
I mean, it's...
Yeah. And then our pseudo hero, maybe the real villain, we don't know yet. Morrow, the cyborg, shows up and stuns the Xeno. It was just kind of funny the way it kind of just fell over.
Which,
I'm thinking about it.
When you see it, and this is just again another example where you're just like, this technology that exists in this, because again, you got to keep in mind, people, this takes place before like Alien and Aliens and all that. This technology that exists in this show, it's like, where is this later on in the other movies?
Especially the one with the military.
Okay, never. I was going to try and explain it away, but you're right. With the military, you can't explain that one away.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because even in the aspect of Morrow, he uses here in a second, he changes a setting on the rifle that he has, and he shoots like Spider-Man's, webbing all over the Xenomorph to create like this net, like this, like a spider's, winding up its victim or its prey, and it's just dragging it along.
By the way, Maverick brings up a good point. There's that line where it says scientists don't kill, and it's like, but they kill a bunch of lab animals, so of course they do.
Yeah, that was, we were like, no.
Yeah. It's painful to rewatch this. Exactly, Rossi. And I mean, and that's one of those things where, if you're watching this for the sake of visual effects, and I mean, that was my issue with Romulus. Like, I thought Romulus had some good cinematography. I liked the sound design. I think the sound design was the best part of Romulus.
Yeah.
But the acting, subpar at best.
Hold on, the acting was leagues better than whatever's going on here.
Sure,
it was better than this, but but also character intelligence across the board, and Romulus is just atrocious.
Yeah.
And of course, and that was another movie where it had those many examples of they have an idea for a shot or a situation, and they don't think through the logic of it, like floating alien acid blood.
That was pretty stupid. Yeah.
Well, physics again. That one also had physics decides to just take a vacation for a while.
Yep. Yeah. Here's Peter Parker to Xenomorph.
Miles Morales.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Gotta go for the DI in there for the show.
Yeah.
Which again, kind of cool. But again, we talked about how Joe was also stunned in this, and so it's like, what's the reasoning behind Morrow shooting Joe? And just, obviously he could have killed him, but or wrapped him up as well, I guess. But he doesn't. So and it's like sort of, we were just describing it in our headcanon logic, I guess. Like
the only thing I could maybe reason that out is why he wouldn't just kill him is maybe he just is making sure he doesn't see him take the alien away, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
he doesn't kill the two guys on the ship. He does indirectly, by handcuffing them and then letting the
he does kill a woman in the opening scene, though. He kills that.
He locks her behind the door.
Yeah, but they're Wayland Yutani. These people are all Prodigy.
I guess, yeah. So there's that's a fair point. Also, where the fuck did Morrow come from? That dude was just missing this whole time. An entire split up search and rescue team did not spot this Nibba anywhere.
He was hiding in the shadows.
Just hiding in the shadows.
Well, it's like him and the Xenomorph kind of share that.
Yeah, they have natural camouflage.
Natural camouflage. So, what's up, Golden Age? The show is really bad, but I found myself laughing at how bad it is. I mean, that's essentially what the four of us did when we watched it together. Like, you know, I mean, if it's bad and you can't help but laugh at it, then it's fine. I mean, that was me through like most of Weapons in the theater this past weekend. Just, you know, won't get into that, but there's just certain parts that don't make any sense. And then when you're trying to make sense of it, you kind of just laugh at it because what else is the show trying to tell us here? Like we've all established already that the show is taking kids in a retarded way and throwing them into a very, very dangerous environment because that makes a lot of sense. Oh, by the way, we're just going to make this all based on Peter Pan, another fictional story. A fantasy story, but
I'll tell you what the purpose is, Nick. Okay, the entire purpose of this is much like quite a bit of media these days is to get us more comfortable with children being put in precarious situations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because like I'm just thinking, like at least with the other Alien movies, there's some through line about the dangers of space travel or the dangers of the unknown or the fear of the unknown sort of deal, right? Or confronting your limitations as a mortal being and whatnot. But then you get to this and it's just in 2 episodes, nothing has really happened. Nothing's really been established. They try to touch on the whole fear of AI thing, but it's literally dropped in a little bit of dialogue with British Timothy Chalamet in this episode and doesn't play into any of the other characters. It plays maybe into Morrow, but he's a cyborg. He's not an AI. So he still retains all of his humanity. All of these characters have virtually no personality. Like you could put all of this team together and they would just form half of one person. But instead it's like, oh, we need to have X amount of bodies so that we can show this maybe happening down the line or this happening down the line. So like the only real depth I'm noticing 2 episodes in is that like, and I'm not even joking now when I say this, it's just get comfortable with grooming children, basically. That's the only through line I'm finding.
Yeah, there are some. I mean, you don't have to look hard to see some parallels, and that's the only enjoyable part of this was the 4 of us coming up with headcanon to make fun of this thing and try again magnets. It's all magnets. It's you know, it used to be all ball bearings, but now it's all magnets.
Yeah, I mean, Maverick, in terms of this question here, if other Alien movies didn't exist, nor the Predators, and this show was the first Xenomorph appearance ever, would you enjoy more? I think even if you started like that or asked that same question, which I think most of us have as well, when like say like if Prometheus was the beginning, and every single movie that came after that was made after that, would we still like the chronology of how it turned out? No, because of what those movies still do in the way
they're nonsense by themselves. They're nonsense all by themselves.
Yeah.
And you
it's like, granted, it like if it like they would the massive downside if we were to take them and watch them chronologically is Alien and Aliens would seem weird because they're like, well, this doesn't match what came before. But
you would think it's like a Highlander 2 situation where they did the first 2 movies and they were like, oh, we fucked up. Let's just erase that. That didn't happen. And then here we go again. And you're like, oh, that was a noticeable uptick in quality.
Yeah. Again, it's very out of place for Kirsch here as he starts to get and all the information that sort of knowledge transfer, and I think this is more. I think it might say actually what this is called here. If I can somehow read, if I can get close with my damn monitor. So it says.
I scrolled down too far already, but this is just it once it replaces, so it gets in the eye socket.
Takes over the ocular pathway to the brain.
Right, goes to the brain.
Neurotransmitter, yeah. Mm-hmm. More study needed to gauge inherent intelligence throw it. And I think it's called like Ocellus or
yeah,
Ocelus.
Yeah, so like for ocular.
Yeah. It has shown remarkable problem-solving skills at a near human measure.
I don't think this is going to be relevant to anything.
No.
I'm going to be honest with you. Because at least like with when Alien did it, when we had the little backdrops, it's like, oh, it enhances everything these characters go through. It enhances the terror they feel, the mystery that they encounter, and all that.
Later, shield wall. Have a good night, man.
See a shield wall. This is just another one of the things like, oh, because Alien did it, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is so these would be the records because he's like downloading the records at this point.
Right.
And this is a research ship that has had these for a bit, and so they would have made observations and classifications and things like that. So pulling the information, but yeah, I think that some of these Xenos are just going to be farts in the wind, or for jump scare oogie boogie type thing.
Just to Maverick's previous thing, I have watched Alien Monday. If anyone else on the panel has, it's really good. It's only like 20-ish minutes long. It's animated, but definitely recommend. Very good.
It's cool.
I don't know if I have or not. I'll check that out.
It's pretty cool.
Thanks, Maverick. Is it me or does Daisy really look like Sigourney Weaver? I feel like she looks more like Keira Knightley, but I mean, I could see.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, I see the Keira Knightley more.
Yeah, I definitely think she looks more like Keira Knightley than Sigourney Weaver. But
I've seen a picture where somebody kind of made Daisy Ridley kind of dressed like Sigourney Weaver and had the hair like her, and I was like, okay, yeah, you could make it look like a younger version of her, perhaps, but I mean, I guess in terms of like how she normally looks, not really.
I don't want to like say that and then like put that into the universe and be like, we're gonna remake Alien and she's gonna be the star as Ridley. No. Cue the Darth Vader now. What's up, blue collar? Definitely not drunk. Going to get pizza and start picking up. Jesus.
Why are you leaving a record of your crime, man? Like, this is the biggest.
He wants to get caught. Times. He wants to get caught.
Blue, you don't want to go back to prison, right? Jesus. Gemma's back. Okay. Did anyone else like it, or am I the rebel here?
Yeah, the rebel.
Hold on. I have a question for you, Gemma. Did you like it and you could acknowledge that it has some issues with it, or do you like it and just think it's great, like it's well put together?
Yeah, that's going to determine whether rebel is the right word or it's another word that starts with R-E.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Vex's favorite character?
Ronald.
You guys
Weasley.
Monsters Inc., right? You've seen Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
You remember the scene where Mike is trying to escape, or I think it's the big blue guy, but he's trying to escape Randall when he gets tied down to the chair, and one of the workers comes in and they put the scream sucker thing on it, and it sucks the kid out. And all that's left is that's what she looks like.
Right when you said that, I was like, she's talking about the lips.
The lips, Okay, Gemma, that's fine then. Like, it's okay if you can enjoy things that are bad or have problems. We were gonna call you a retard if you thought it was good.
Yeah, but I mean that's like saying that a third-degree burn victim has a skin condition. It's not.
I mean, like, I enjoy Prometheus. Like, that's a guilty pleasure movie, but it's so bad. Like, it has so many problems with it.
Yeah, that's just like, I mean, it is bad. Now the Prometheus, as I have well established, I hate that movie.
Possible,
yeah, it is. I burn with the fire of 1,000 suns my hatred for it. But it's mostly because the production values are so good, and that it's just the retard writing that's going on in it that drives me insane, because I look at all the work that was put into it and it was wasted.
Mm-hmm.
This I can't. I don't have nearly the problems because I'm seeing some of those stuff that's mailed in.
You're saying like like how Joe is the only one who isn't disintegrated in a millisecond. Well, that's plot armor though. And
yeah, that's just plot armor.
You know, plot armor isn't always a good thing. You know, again, like he's evaded to this point in time, he's evaded the xenomorph twice without getting a scratch on him.
And by the way, you can't use the he's not a human excuse for not getting attacked, because we know aliens attack, synthetics and androids. They attack anything.
Yep.
And again, like Jamie, listen, if you like it, and anyone out there that's watching, if you like it, okay. The only thing that we're proposing is just it's like why, like what makes you like it, and what makes you being attached to this show that's like, I can't wait to watch more, right? Like there's
what do you mean by
pulls
a lot?
me in? Like like I don't think there's a lot to like. And again, like this is another example that we alluded to earlier on, like that this is an immense, and I'd say even a gross over exaggeration of the gore and violence. And look, y'all know me, and if you don't know me, I'm all for the gore and violence in action movies, sci-fi, whatever. Like there's a time and a place, and there's a good call to it, and there's plenty of times where it is warranted. But as we already established on the stream, you can overdo it, and it can hurt the film, or it can hurt the scene, it can hurt the show. And that's I think what the problem is, and that's the issue that we all have with this part here. Like as Morrow is being confronted by these 4 stupid ass Marines who don't even see the fucking claw of the xenomorph puncture through the netting. Like, how do you not see that? That is one thing right there to not.
It's like you would think there's this giant like web sack on the ground. You're not going to glance at it at all. It's a pretty weird looking thing. It's like my attention might be a little diverted to that. By the way, Jamie, it also looks great and sounds fantastic? Star Wars, so The Force Awakens, like all those movies look and sound great.
Interstellar.
They're still garbage. Yeah, Interstellar looks and sounds great. I mean, I'm just saying that's really not a lot to like. Those are aspects of a movie, but it's superficial,
Wait, the cyborg was about to put the alien inside the elevator with him, and it wakes up like 30 seconds later. What was he going to do? I guess
he's gonna fuck it, Rossi. That's what he's gonna do.
So that's why he says that it's like triggered by fear. So there, those people again. This is some bullshit going on here. But yeah, it's fear because
fear is your ally.
Yeah, apparently, apparently now aliens, they can sense fear and find you. Whatever.
Also, what characters, Jamma? Are there characters in this? I must have missed that part.
Yeah, I think there's a character, and she's doing it in spite of the dialogue she's been given.
Yeah. To be fair, British Timothy Chalamet is a character. Whether he's a good one is a different question, but he's a character.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Jamma for like.
I mean, it's caricature. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
The technology is an interesting aspect. I think in some cases, like as we mentioned earlier, the weaponry, the ideas of how this sort of synthetic transfer is capable is kind of cool. It's fascinating because the idea of there's another trillionaire who has approaches it with a different way than what we already know of Weyland Yutani doing, right? So I think. It's interesting, but like for my, and I'm not going to speak for everyone else on the panel here, but from my perspective, there really isn't any single character that I'm like cheering for or that I'm rooting for in
Xenomorph.
Through. What's that?
But he's a retard
Xenomorph.
too.
Oh yeah, the Xenomorph. Yeah, he's got some issues too, though. So like, and I think, and I said this earlier, I might be a little interested in Morrow here. I think Morrow might be. An interesting character, but we're not seeing a lot of him either, right? Like,
I do have a question about Morrow though. Since he's not human, why would you design your synthetic or whatever thingy to be kind of heavy set?
Morrow is human. He's a cyborg. He's a mix of cybernetic. He's got like cybernetic implants, but he's human. So that's the mix.
He can be fat.
That's a prophetic episode.
Right, yeah.
Not fat, but it's like he's not fit. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's going to store like that blowtorch in a tank somewhere in his body, and so.
Yeah. You can. He changes his arms like the T-1000 into a freaking blade. That doesn't get used because he doesn't have any fear. So you like the cleaner version of the Night City feel. After that, it was hard to look past things without cringe chuckling.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's fair. And again, like those would be things where, like, if you could say I liked this aspect of, I liked this, these shots, these frames. Again, that's fine. But when you, like, if you're tallying up how many things you can like about this, like, can you really say overall as a whole that this is a good show?
Because so the thing that I was looking like
absolutely jamming. We'll see
plot holes, or and that includes characters and all that. For good movies, there can be plot holes. It's not just the existence of a plot hole that causes a problem. It can be. So it's a matter of like degree, and you can have one giant plot hole that I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't escape the event horizon of this plot hole, right? Or you can have enough of them accumulate that it still equals the same mass and I can't escape it anymore and I'm out, right? My suspension of disbelief goes, nope, I'm leaving now. I've had enough of your shit. And that's the problem with this, is that it doesn't earn an initial suspension of disbelief. It in fact starts fucking with it right off the bat and trying to, toss it out. And then it just keeps piling on these plot hole on top of plot hole on top of plot hole, and physics works sometimes and doesn't work the other times, and everything is all of that accumulates up to where I'm just like, I am just watching visual things and hearing sounds because the story is just, I'm out, and I can't. And could they get me back in? Yeah, they're going to have to work.
Yeah. And
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna add as well, and kind of in reference to Jamma's character, there's nothing to flesh out here, really. The only character, quote unquote character, that has anything to maybe flesh out is Moro, and that's more because we just want to know his motivations, because he's clearly against everyone else for the sake of getting this xenomorph out. But the first 2 episodes have done nothing to establish any actual characters, any strong motivation for anything. In fact, it actually just spends a lot of time just fillers. It's like Hulu is just like, we need 8 episodes, and they're just like, oh well, I have a plot for 2 episodes.
Yep.
But all right, let's drag it out to 8 episodes. Like the fact that so little has happened, because I'm looking at where the timestamp is on the screen, and I'm genuinely shocked that absolutely nothing has happened in 2 episodes. Nothing.
Yeah, and we've got 6 more to go, and this is where we've left off. Like, we should have been at least to this part in the first episode alone, if not a bit further.
Right. And like on top of this, they've completely nuked any sort of threat that the xenomorph could have for the remainder of this series, because it seems to pick and choose how quickly, how violently it chooses to kill people. So your threat right off the bat is completely gone.
I mean, we cucked pretty hard on True Lies last night, though, to be fair.
Yeah, and I'm a notorious hater of that movie.
Yeah,
I'm not particularly fond of True Lies.
Melvin loved.
He stand the hell out of it.
I love True Lies. It's a top 10 movie for me.
I can't help it that you're retarded.
No, I'll take it. I am a woman and Canadian, so it stands.
Yeah, and like like when we talk about movies, like Vex, you mentioned it earlier, that you love. You're, I don't think, like you said the word love, but you like or enjoy Prometheus.
Yeah,
right?
It's a guilty pleasure movie for me. Yeah,
right. Guilty pleasures are acceptable. Like, I have some myself,
sure,
but that doesn't make it good, right? Like, again, like
exactly.
We can enjoy watching a bad movie and be like, you know what, I'm going to bed in like an hour. Like, I'm gonna go and throw it on and watch it, and fall asleep and blah blah blah. Or I'm gonna cook some food or whatever, do some chores and throw it on just because of whatever, right? Like,
I've seen Once Upon a Time in Mexico probably 50 times, and you know what? It's a bad movie, and I love the heck out of it.
There you go.
Right, but just ask yourself, like, how are you going to go back and watch the show again? At what point in time are you ever going to go back and watch the show again? Because again, like
I need to go to sleep.
Right. I mean, yeah, Chronicles of Riddick. Yeah. I mean, it's not a great movie, but I enjoy it too. I don't know if I'd call it like a guilty pleasure. But
The Lion, the Riddick, and the Wardrobe.
I like the Dune movie quite a bit. It's terrible, but I really like it.
Dune?
It's so much fun.
Which one?
The 2005 Doom movie with The Rock and Carl
Doom.
Urban. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Actually, the Dune.
Oh,
Dune.
I don't care for Dune at all. No.
Not the
New
1984
World.
Dune, that's for sure.
84
I hate
Dune
that
is
movie
better.
so much.
Curse.
Oh my goodness.
It at least differentiates which house you're in.
I mean, like, you know, I always refer to I mean, we always talk about the suspension of disbelief, and this is something that Tolkien obviously believed in as well, but he went further to secondary belief, like that the story is so well told and it immerses you so well that you really and legitimately believe you're inside of that. You're literally in the story here. Like,
yeah, and that takes an understanding of the world building that you're doing, that it's not just the big points. Every little thing makes sense and follows, suit. And, if nothing else, we're humans are pretty good at pattern matching, and you can overlook plenty of things, but you're also going to be the guy who gets eaten by a lion. When we see little things like we're especially movies. I mean, we operate in a 3D environment. We know physics innately, at least at our scale. And when you see shit like, I'm going to jump for the stairs and then magically whoop and go under and land in a different place, it was like, that's not how physics works. And I know this because I've jumped on things and bounced off of them too. And what didn't happen is me get sucked back in and land on the floor behind that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching the other night when I was kind of just getting ready to go to bed, and I was like, I'm gonna put some on. I throw on the fucking Lost World, man. It's not really a good movie at all, but I enjoy
Not at all.
it. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy it though. Like, there's something about it that I enjoy. But obviously, I could tear that movie to shreds.
I have before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear that Raptors haven't evolved to deal with gymnastics, so
Yeah, Jacob Ironside invited me on his panel to talk that movie. And we were just thinking, it's gonna be a normal 2-hour show he does. I think we went like 4 hours because I was just tearing that thing to pieces.
That wasn't a bad movie, Maverick. I think it.
No, it's a bad movie. It's a fun bad movie.
It's actually not a bad game adaptation, but it's proof that
it has
adapting the lore one
There's
for one is not a good idea.
Definitely lore issues with
Ben Foster's performance is laughably bad though, which is weird because he's usually really good in movies, but holy crap, he's awful in that movie.
Yeah, Rossi, that was one thing that I was thinking because he
JP3.
JP3 is better. I agree with Waylon. JP3 is better.
Agreed with Waylon as well.
Yeah, the cyborg clearly has some way to manage fear, even though he's showing it a bit, but he's just not like his limbic system is going insane.
Yeah, the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes movies are pretty fun.
Yeah,
they're great, but
yeah. No, I'll rewatch. I think I own both on fucking DVD Blu-ray. So I mean, but this is the part right here, the webbing penetration. So that they understand what it is, but then they don't see.
Yeah,
they focus. They
understand
on
those
him.
two in the back their eyesight goes directly over that bag, and a hand comes out, and they don't react to it. They're just fine because our vision isn't attracted to movement at all.
That's in front of you.
Yeah, this is again this is bullshit filmmaking where camera can't see it, so characters can't. Except that we all have objects persistence. We understand where things are in a room. If you lay it out, if you give us a look at that, and we also know how humans behave.
The webcam isn't like JAMA. The webcam is an interesting add-in, but if we just look in the timeline of things, it's never appeared before. The other thing too is that we've seen time and time again that the xenomorph is well above these kind of net catching techniques. So it's been knocked out for a couple seconds. It's really stupid because it's pretty clear that, God, what is this guy's name again?
Morrow.
He's aware of the capabilities of this creature and whatnot. So again, it's another way of just like nuking your antagonist in the worst way possible so early on.
Yeah, Gemma, you like that web gun? How the fuck did the web get underneath the Xenomorph?
Mm-hmm. Also, if it ripped through it just by kind of lifting its arm, how is he able to drag it? It's clearly not strong enough.
Yeah,
it's pretty inconsistent.
Yeah,
it is a thing that looks interesting on its surface, and then if you think about it for any little bit, it falls the fuck apart.
Exactly. Well, Jamma, you're kind of highlighting a problem. Yeah, we have new tech that probably shouldn't exist right now. I mean, you could maybe argue that the body transfer thing, maybe you could work out logically for a movie or two in the timeline because it's not Weyland-Yutani who's doing it. So maybe it's just, this is not a secret they understand yet, but that's really only going to work for until like Aliens, because Aliens would be 50 some odd years later. And by then your patent's probably expired and everyone now knows your tech and they've reverse engineered it.
And this might be the only instance of seeing this sort of tech, right? Like we might not even see it in these next 6 episodes. Like this might be it. So it's like,
I highly doubt we will ever see this tech again, because again, the Xenomorph has just clawed its way through it pretty easily. So there's no point to ever use it again.
Yeah. And then again, here's another issue. They can sense fear.
They can sense fear. Oh, that line. I was like, what?
I mean, it's again,
the empathy of Xenomorphs, they're notorious for that.
I think we need to conduct a new science project on the empathy of Xenomorphs and human fear.
Might be able to get some government funding.
Honestly, even if you take into account so Prometheus and Covenant happened before this. I think Covenant is about 30-ish years before this, right? And in that movie, we saw them cut off the head. In Prometheus, we saw it cut off the head of an android who had no fear of it. We saw it also cut off the head in Covenant of a woman who didn't even know it was in the same room as it. So like this lore addition makes, I think this would have made more sense if this guy were a Sith, like a synthetic. That it was like, oh, it's not a living thing, so maybe it's not going to go after it. But this is a cyborg, so like this, bruh.
And it's a good question. How does he know that? Well, again, if they've done,
he's a xenotherapist.
Yeah, he's conducted extensive sit downs, therapy sessions with Jeremy, the Xenomorph.
Oh.
Jeremy, tell me about your mother.
Also, just to add on, if it doesn't sense fear, and based on how quickly it was able to kill everyone at the French party, that means that it killed at least 1 or 2 people that weren't scared of it because it wasn't even aware.
Yeah, they didn't even have time to be scared.
Right.
I mean, dude, I thought Fallout was awesome.
I liked the Fallout show quite a bit.
Fallout was great, bro.
It is really bad, though. It is.
It is bad.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward.
But it's enjoyably bad. I enjoyed a lot about Fallout. I mean, I enjoyed the whole thing, but I enjoed enough of it. But I mean,
it's competent bad
because Damon Lindelof is an ass clown.
Yes.
Why did David want to kill all life? Because he enjoyed it.
He just wanted to know if he could. Sociopath. That's it.
Yeah, it was just because he could.
Jamma, okay, so if I was talking about The Last Jedi and tearing this thing a new asshole, you would be cheering me on. If I was talking about Killer of Killers, which was absolute dog shit, you cheered it on. This is a thing you like, and you're just going, no, well, but just ignore it. I don't ignore things in movies. I can't.
It's hard
to
jump
out at me.
Nitpicking is like critiquing, like, oh, this thing shouldn't look like that color or something, like going over like dumb superficial things or something like that. It's not nitpicking to question the logic of a mechanic or something like that. Those are objective flaws. Those are things that actually do matter, because there are those parts that, activate regions of your brain. And you're just like, how does that work?
I'd like to right, and also just to add on to this, all of the things that we are pointing out are systematically like breaking this show down to bits and pieces. Like it's destroying any character growth, it's destroying any purpose, it's destroying any narrative. So these aren't even little nitpicks. It's like the fundamentals of what is supposed to make this enticing to an audience are just being undone every other scene by one singular fucking writer. Is the other crazy thing.
Yep.
It's just one guy writing this.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you can, and the thing is, we have examples of good alien movies to compare this to that are competent, that are well written, that you can't, pick apart the same way. And again, it's fine if you like this. It's totally fine if you like it. But you need to understand what you like is bad. And that's okay, but it is bad.
Yeah, again, Gordon and I just had a ball watching War of the Worlds.
Yes.
That's a 0 out of 10 movie.
Yes.
But it's 10 out of 10 for us entertainment-wise. It's magnificent.
Yes.
Right.
I will watch that again gleefully. It's awful, but it's horrible. It's a legit 0 out of 10 movie. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen, but simultaneously one of the best.
Oh, it is magnificent. It is magnificent in its terribleness.
Jim, a further context, right? Like, I mean, like when we covered Jurassic Park on Masculine Monday, I mean, in just in general, I mean, when we were on Zach's stream last Wednesday, when we were talking about the fact that Jurassic Park is in the sci-fi category in 93, it's going to carry that weight in terms of a versus competition or bracket challenge. Jurassic Park has so much weight to it because of how people love it and how good it was. But when I talk about Jurassic World Rebirth, and I absolutely tear it to shreds because I am analyzing every single piece of scenery, of dialogue, of acting, of chemistry or lack thereof, but even just the soundtrack or even just the cinematography, the CGI effects, like you have to look at everything all the way through, right? Because we can't just pick apart the characters and then not talk about everything else. I mean, I guess you could if that's your angle, but if we're trying to provide analysis completely and be thorough, I wouldn't say we're being over nitpicking. I would just say we're being thorough. Like we're looking at everything that we're given at face value. And I mean, I'd say it to Molly's point as well. Like we're giving a lot of things that it's like they're just saying, oh, in case you're fucking stupid to understand this, let us spell it out for you multiple times in 2 episodes. Like,
so the same exposition up 3 times in 1 episode.
Like we don't need that. That is a literal waste of time, because you could be telling us a better story. You could be giving us better character analysis. You could be giving us better things that make this story stronger or strong as it needs to be. You could be giving us things that would make sense canonically, that takes place with these aliens that are supposed to provide this creepiness, this fear. But there again, we don't really see it a lot, and we should for a season that's only 8 episodes and 45-minute episodes at that time.
Yeah, and actually, if you want me to actually nitpick this thing and not just look, a nit and then the burnt corpse that it's on,
you're good, dude.
I would be here for like 24 hours, because this thing breaks like second to second so many times where you're just like, wait, what? No, why are you doing this now? Why are we talking about this? And you go, I like character, I like tech. They don't exist in a vacuum. They have to exist within a world that makes sense, right? There's a consistency to the world, and this fails from the B jump.
Yeah. I think the last 2 things that really just need to be discussed, again, this is just more talking about like how, again, this is just more of an over exaggeration of
Vex has got her hand up.
Yes, Vex.
Is it okay if I dip out, because my eyes are actually starting to burn right now?
I know you've been watching this too long. Absolutely.
Final thoughts. The show is fucking shit. Fuck you, Nick, for making me watch this every week.
I'm taking the Niat crowd.
Help those Prometheus streams, Vex.
Like this, I don't even drink, and I think this might get me to start drinking every week. So
I might have to do that on Tuesday nights. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for having me. This was a good old time. But yeah, it is 3 hours past my bedtime, and I can't afford to be a slave to my sleep deprivation tomorrow. So, cheers,
next week
guys.
will be earlier, at least.
Pardon?
And only one episode.
Yeah,
next week will be earlier, and only one episode to
exactly. Yeah,
about,
to unpack, and kind of we've established quite a bit already going forward. So, all right, guys, take it easy.
Night, Vex. Take care.
Awesome.
Night, Vex.
Later, Vex.
Yeah, and again, just with the blood and everything. I mean, it's just inconsistent. I feel like they could have done it a little better and just tighten it up, right? Joe is saved, or at least he's met up with Wendy here, and then slightly spoils the secret between them, and says that this is your sister, bro. After he finds the Reggie Jackson, baseball, and she asks the question saying like, "Oh, who are you talking to?" Oh, I'm going to talk to my father, and it's like,
oh, you still talk to Dad?
You still talk to Dad? Yeah.
He doesn't pick up on your dad. No, that's not what she said.
What? Yeah, your dad.
Yeah, she didn't need an Indian kid to give the whole thing away. She was starting to do that herself.
Yeah, she was doing her own damn self.
Yeah, I mean, it would have happened at one point, and I know we made some jokes about how it would happen. But I mean, for the sake of kids spoiling things for other kids, and again, it just being one of those moments where kids say dumb shit, and we'll spoil things as well. Like, I guess that was.
It was age appropriate.
It fit. But it all seemed to work out. Like they hugged it out. And he's still asking questions to
he's testing her
to tell if it's to see if it actually is her, because it's like, well, as we find out, we think that, or he thinks that she's actually dead. I went to your funeral, and so she's questioning, what do you mean funeral? But I thought Dad. Oh wait, maybe we were lied to both in different ways, which again, I think could be, provide some interest. I think you mentioned it, Gord, like, well, that's one thing they haven't really established yet, but we'll see if we actually get more of that next episode. I hope they don't drag that out either. Like, I hope that part of the story gets addressed sooner rather than later. I think at the end,
Gemma, you don't want to get into a troll op with me.
Don't wear that lofty crown, Gemma. There are plenty of people who wear it already.
Yeah.
Dot or feather.
We'll be on with some tomorrow.
Those britches are too big to fill.
Later, Waylon. Have a good night, dude.
Later.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we just really didn't touch on, I mean, at the end is when the Xeno shows up again, and this time
Joe's plot armor once again kicks in hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's tackled, like Goldberg spears Joe down the pit, which we don't know how far down it is.
It was running like it was going to protect the eggs, and then it was like, haha, I'm just going to kidnap this one. I don't know, I'll hold it for ransom.
Yeah, which is definitely going to be really interesting because there's 6 more face huggers
is
there.
It?
Well, interesting. I say interesting with immense sarcasm.
In the way that you like dissect a tumor. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess I can somewhat appreciate when the Xeno starts running back, because it can, I guess, sense that
eggs in danger or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then what does it do?
Danger.
And just Bogart's one person, instead of defending the eggs. So
yeah, I think it's right here, and then we'll call it. But yeah, there's that tackle.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise, some fries, motherfucker.
Oh.
Alien eyes, motherfucker.
Yeah. You got Xeno marked.
Like, just gone out of scene, and then protect the omelet, as Wendy says. Yeah, which, like, again, like, that's a far ass drop from what we're seeing. So how he'll be alive again, like, why would the Xenomorph keep him alive at this point either. It doesn't.
He's gonna ransom him.
Yeah,
I'm annoyed that they said protect the omelet. That annoyed me because I'm like, okay, calling it the omelet suggests that it was given a code name because eggs, omelet, but you all didn't know you were gonna find eggs down here. And okay, let's say you just gave it that name at random. It's like, just say egg.
Yeah.
Just say egg. Protect the omelet.
Save the omelet, save the world.
Has she made a 6-egg omelet before? How does she know what an omelet is?
Exactly. How does she know what an omelet is?
She didn't know what a scorpion was, but she knows what an omelet is.
She didn't know what boobs were.
Right. Yeah. Again, that might be nitpicking, Jamma, to your...
Like I said, that's not a legit criticism. That was merely an annoyance. That was merely an annoyance.
Motherfuckers didn't know what's on my motherfucking planet.
Like, if I were scoring the movie, that wouldn't factor into the score.
Right, exactly. Do you guys think that the Timothy android knows that Weyland Otani killed the whole crew because he downloaded all the files?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's some interesting.
You're asking me a question that would require me to have more investment than I'm willing to give at this point.
There's a lot that it's like, I guess we'll just find out, sort of thing. I
think that Peter Pan absolutely knows about Morrow, because Morrow's like first thing when he like meets up with it, asks about the genius, the boy genius. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you mean the trillionaire? I'm like, yeah, who the hell else are you gonna get? So he's looking to contact him for some reason. I'm gonna guess it'd be like, hey, get me out.
Yeah. Snakes on a Plane. It's an enjoyable film.
Never watched
plot, but well, I think that'll about do it for the first 2 episodes. I know we've analyzed it pretty damn thoroughly, picked it apart, for better, for worse. And again, like if you enjoyed this, that's totally fine. We're not saying you can't and you shouldn't enjoy things like this, right? As we've already mentioned, we all have our guilty pleasures. We all have things that we can watch and somehow still enjoy, but also admit that it has problems or that it is bad objectively, right? Like we can't mix up the subjective and objective reasonings here. Mm-hmm. That is very important. And that's essentially what we're going to be doing here on this show on Tuesday nights. So next week, again, the show itself, Alien Earth, premieres on FX and Hulu at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the stream will start at 9:30. So it'll start an hour earlier since we only have 1 episode to cover. And now that we've already kind of got a lot established, there should be less to go over, but we should still be able to have a significant, conversation. So,
and the shows mostly start at night. Mostly.
What a crossover that would make. Yeah. If I watch it and like it, can we still? Of course. I'm.
Yeah, you might lose your wrench, but you can still be friends. Yeah.
If you call it good, we can only be acquaintances.
Yeah.
The
benefits are going to leave.
If you like it, but you can, Molly, if you like it, but you can understand and say it has
so many flaws,
a lot of, and just give me a handful. And then we'll be fine.
Oh,
like Jamma has said, a handful. Whoa, giggity. But I think we already kind of talked about where we'll be this week. We'll be on like Zach's stream. We'll be on ABF stream. We'll be on potentially Nyat stream again on Friday, talking more about this. God help us. God help Nyat on Film Comics Explained when he.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the aneurysm that he suffers.
I think I agree.
You will. You are on that. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I would agree to be on it. So I might be watching and then just I might be drinking on the side with a bag of popcorn and kind of laughing.
Oh God! I have to watch this turd again. Jesus, oh my God.
I'll go off memory. I'll let everyone else dominate the panel.
I don't think you need to rewatch this.
I can remember none of this other than like maybe 2 scenes.
So we'll have first responders stand by in Australia for Nyat over at Film Comics Explained, but. Yeah, listen, I appreciate everyone who watched the video or watched this stream here. We're gonna be covering different shows. So after Alien Earth is over, we'll cover a different show that is maybe high tea and is also trendy. I think we're probably leaning more towards the Terminalist prequel, Dark Wolf, which I think should be good. That airs at the end, I think August 27th, I'm not mistaken. So we would cover it the following week, starting in like, or maybe later on in September. Actually, probably. Well, now that I think about it,
this tour doesn't end until like the 23rd, right?
Yeah, so we'd probably start Dark Wolf in October, October 30th, I believe, since the last episode of Alien Earth is the 23rd of September. So okay, so we could start the Dark Wolf and end of like the last week of last Tuesday of September. So we'll get through it. I appreciate you guys watching. Unless you want to see me blow a gasket and literally rip my shirt off in a not very good way, that would be the only. You'd literally have to pay me. I don't even know if you could pay me to watch it, because like I might just lose my mind and somehow go bald and I don't know.
I did a season of Rings of Power.
I did first season, and I refused to watch anything after that. Like,
I mean, that would be one that I would troll. I would absolutely start talking about how genius it is.
I would have to do that.
Or I would make up my own headcanon.
But literally, like, that's a show.
But that's
like,
what they
you
did.
could just do one episode at a time, and the shows could be hours long because there's so much wrong with every episode.
Yeah. And just dissect the hell out of
it. Later, Bobby. Thanks for stopping by, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, thanks for everyone who watched the stream, liked the video. If you subbed, awesome.
Everybody bully Jamma. Make sure you bully Jamma when you see him in chat, anywhere, anytime. He's a marked man now.
He's targeted now.
Yep. Putting a hit out on him.
If they started making Quaaludes again, then I might watch Ring of Power. Yeah. Good point. So follow Gore, follow Goodwin, and follow Vex. They're links. I know Molly's been putting them in chat, and they're in the description below. Follow them, and we'll see you next time here on Tren-dy TV Tuesday, covering Alien Earth. Cheers, everyone.
Night.
Cheers.